Welcome to Drink Water, Drive On, a show about real people, real life, and real talk. In this episode, I sit down with Hunter, a promising athlete who struggled with mental health and depression. He shares his story on how he focuses on himself in order to get through his adversities. Stay tuned, keep watching, because the show is about to begin. Close to a year ago, and I wanted to do something. And I knew I wanted to I had something to say. You know what I mean? And I started thinking about my past and everything I've been through. I've been through a lot. I'm pretty old. I'm 45 years old. I just got back to finishing school. I'm almost done. That's why I'm working at Hickson, because I'm interning there.
Yep.
And and then finishing school, got out the Army. I've done a lot of jobs, different jobs and stuff like that. I was like, man, if I have a story to tell, I'm sure somebody else has a story to tell. And if one story can help someone either get through something, then I think it'd be beneficial to do. So about 8 months ago, I came up with the concept of what I want to do. And then one day I was just like, I had this space right here, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do something with that. I want to, and it was born to, my logo, that came from the Army.
Yeah.
So the drill sergeant would be like, drink water, and we would have to respond, drive on, drill sergeant, drive on. So that's how Drink Water, Drive On came about.
Yeah.
And their colors are because of LSU. I'm from Louisiana, born and raised in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Grew up a huge LSU fan. Most of my family is LSU fans. And so, like I said, I'm finishing my last semester this summer, and my son goes there. So
Nice, man. Nice.
that's where it all comes. That's how it all started, and that's where I'm at. And I just want to get as many interviews as I can and people's stories out there.
Cool, man. Let's do it. I'm actually am going to use the restroom.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You said first row on the right? Or
Yeah, or straight back, either or.
Okay. Which one would you prefer?
Man, you go to the first one you come to, I suppose.
First one on the right? That
My
happens,
bad.
man.
I had a buddy come yesterday after traveling from St. Louis, Missouri to Colorado.
He was traveling?
Yeah, so for what we do for work,
Okay.
we're controls technicians for building automated systems.
Both of you.
Right. And so we have a few job projects out of town, and he went to St. Louis, Missouri, then he went to Colorado. He's driving in our company vehicles. And then he went to Amarillo. So he's going the whole week, driving and hitting these up. And he came straight here after work
Okay.
to do it. And then I'm able to hit you, and I got somebody else coming
Cool.
today, so I'm
Multiple.
trying to get busy with it.
Yeah.
But
What do you what is so you were mentioning, I guess, a little bit before about the premise,
right.
how it came to be with Army, the name, story to tell. What's the goal?
Ultimately to figure out, well, I say to figure out, but ultimately just to let people hear a story that maybe it'll help them push through some type of adversity in their life.
Gotcha.
Maybe to get over something. And if they can hear other people's story, maybe that can give them some type of positivity or another way of looking at something,
Gotcha.
to get through whatever it is that they're getting through.
So just talking to as many people as you can.
Exactly.
Learn about life.
Yep.
Stories.
Yeah, because
What comes from it.
you really know what's born from it, right? I may say a story about what I did and how I got to where I am, and I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't even know, I can do that with my life, or I didn't know this. I feel like there's a lot people don't get exposed to, and I just feel like this is a one way to expose people to different things or different aspects of life in general. So
How can I help?
well, let's just start. Are you from here, or Texas, born and raised?
Born and raised in Texas, from Dallas originally. My dad got into some trouble somehow, and so we shifted gears, moved to the hill country, Fredericksburg, Kerrville area,
Okay.
small towns here in Texas, and grew up there, and ended up in New Braunfels for tennis, and yeah, moved away, but originally from Texas. Yeah.
So how many is all of us with
Oh,
siblings and stuff like that?
well, the move, there was five. There was my three brothers, my mom, and my dad. All together, there's
Okay.
12 of us.
Yeah, I have two brothers myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I have two older sisters and a younger sister. My mom and dad it was just us three boys, but my older sisters was a huge part. They lived with us, and then my younger sister came along. But yeah, two brothers as well.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're older. I'm the youngest of those 10
Oh, okay.
kids.
In the middle.
There you go.
10 kids.
Yeah, so the move, like I was saying, there was my parents and three of us, and then all together, though, there's 12. Yeah,
Wow.
so I'm the youngest of the 10 kids. Split families, but
Yeah. I guess.
no step, all blood. Some half blood, though. Yeah,
That's a big family.
yeah, yeah. It was wild. So grew up, and being the last one, it was just very like, I think they were just done.
Yeah.
They didn't care anymore. I could do whatever I wanted.
Dang. So you grew up here. What was growing up like here? Like, and then as far as like siblings go, how close in age were you when you?
So growing up, I had the two older brothers that were the closest in age. One, we were Irish twins, all of us.
I have an Irish twin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a year and a half older, and then a year and a half older than the middle child. Out of the us three, middle child. So all very different. And growing up was just kind of it's always weird to kind of talk about growing up because I assume that everyone else grew up the same way that I did.
Right.
And maybe that's part of this whole thing
Yeah.
that you're doing is like
Yep.
exposing people that they aren't, right? Everyone's grown up differently, so you're not in a vacuum. And so all growing up, I just thought that the way my dad was the way all dads were, and mom vice versa. So, but my dad was all about sports. That
Okay.
was his love language to all of us. It was his way of connecting and communicating. And I think he just sought passion in a lot of ways in his own life. And as he developed his career, he was highly successful in his career. But I don't think it's what he wanted to be doing. So he never really talked about work with us because it just didn't drive him.
Right.
He made money, did good things, supported us, but really it was just sports.
Yeah.
And my mom was very, I don't know, just kind of there. She's a great mom, love her to death, very sweet, but very just kind of, everything's great. You had a bad day, and it's okay. It's gonna be great.
There's positivity in your life.
Kind of, but in a weird way. It was kind of just like if for instance, the example I keep coming back to is like if I was in sports, I was insert any sport, wrestling, whatever, and I had a rough match and I was really down on myself. It wasn't like she never really paid attention and knew the rules of the sport or knew what was happening, but would try and support, but also showed no signs of trying to learn the sport. So it was pretty stressful. So when she's like, "You did good," it's like I did literally the worst thing that I could have done. So there was that, and my dad just always saw the potential in all of us and whatever we did, and wanted to bring the best out of us.
Right.
But didn't really know how to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so this I'm assuming this is a school sports, right?
We did summer AAU. Sorry, I didn't cut you
No,
off
you're
there,
good.
but yeah.
So what all sports between the? Because I'm just going to revert to just the two brothers, you and two brothers. Cause,
Yep.
but what all sports did y'all between all three of y'all? How many? Which ones? Just curious.
Yeah, and that's a great question because that was a really big part of my childhood and how I grew up in answering that first question. My brother Taylor was a swimmer. So he was, when I say we were all very different, he was kind of the oddball out. No offense, Taylor. He just liked what he liked, and he wasn't big into sports really. Sean and I were everything was sports. Sean was bigger than me, so we kind of eventually started to go our own paths. But growing up, we played soccer together. We were on the same soccer team. So being younger, I was always on the older kids, right?
Yeah.
So I hadn't fully developed. So I was just kind of like the runt. So I learned and played with better players.
Right. Exactly.
But physically wasn't as big as them.
Was that any type of? Did you beat yourself up for that?
Oh, dude, I wanted nothing more than to be the best I could be out there. I wanted to be able to compete, but it started to feel like a competition with my brother because my brother was on the other side of the spectrum. So if you can envision a calendar, right, you've got 2 years between them, and we're both kind of meeting in the middle because his age is in the summertime, mine's in January.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we were on the same team, so let's say I was 7, he was 9. But we'd both be on the 8-year-old soccer team because he didn't age 9 until after that season started. So he's 8 technically at the time of the season. So we're on the same team, but now he's 9 middle way through the season. So it's like I'm playing with technically 9-year-olds when I'm 7.
Yeah.
And I'm a young 7. So anyways, it was really hard to kind of grow up in that, wanting to be as big, but he was strong, he was fast, and I wasn't there yet.
Yeah. And this continued. I'm assuming this kept going year after year type of thing up until, teenage.
If my life was a book, it's like the first 15 chapters of that book. Is just this common scenario. But Sean, we did soccer. That was a big one growing up, real big. We tried baseball. I sucked at it, wanted nothing to do with it. Tennis was really big in my life. I wrestled. And Sean, because he was bigger and stronger, my dad tried to find wrestling for me because he wanted me to kind of have that physical prowess like a football, but with people my size, like because you have your weight classes. And there's no way I could have competed at football. It wasn't big enough. So anyways, we did all of them.
I mean, honestly, looking at you, I would think you did play football. Yeah, and a baseball. You look like a baseball player.
I played baseball 1 year, and I remember it being the most miserable, boring experience of my life.
Really?
Yep. And then with football, man, when we moved to Kerrville, I went to a Catholic private school so we could play football earlier. Because the way that it worked is it went all the middle school, all the way through, I think it went through high school. But the high school was somewhere else. So technically, if you wanted to play middle school football, they didn't have enough kids in the 7th and 8th grade classes. So they allowed 5th and 6th grade to be on the 7th and 8th grade football teams to make a school football team to go compete with other schools in the area that had middle school football.
Yeah.
So not only was I smaller, I was like, I want to say 6th grade, maybe 7th, I joined the football team. And who was on that football team?
Big bro.
Big brother. And he was mean. And he was good. And he was fast. And I was kind of just there. And at that age, it wasn't like, maybe now it has to do with size, but at age, it was all about like what you could do.
Yeah.
If you were a good athlete, they put you in one of like the positions, like your quarterback, your running back. They never really threw the ball back then. So fullback. And they put all of them together, and then you'd have your wide receivers. And if you weren't a good athlete, they put you on the line.
Yeah.
Which is like
the worst place.
The worst place that a kid who doesn't
probably
know
the most important place.
Exactly. Yeah. LSU fan, you get it. No, in SEC football, the line is everything. And so I was on the line, and I was on the defensive line, and I think I was like right guard. And I'll never forget, there was a game, and in the game I finally got a lot of play time. I don't know why. But I remember there was this opportunity, and I broke through the line, and there was the quarterback, and he had the ball, and he was getting ready to throw it. And I remember just going, I'm going to nail this guy. I'm going to be a hero on the team. This is my moment. And I hit him square in the chest as he threw the ball. He stayed standing. I fell down. like flat back. And that was like a moment where I was like, yeah, I don't think I have this. This isn't me, man. And then there was another moment with my brother that still haunts me. Like I'll wake up having nightmares about this scenario.
Yeah.
There was a drill called the Oklahoma drill. Do you remember that one?
It sounds familiar.
Maybe they call it something else, but it was where you'd lay back on your back and one person would have the football on their side and the other one wouldn't. And you'd put tackling dummies to create the lane.
Yeah.
And it was maybe, if you were to lay down like maybe 6 feet wide.
Head to head,
lane,
right?
Head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, they say go or blow the whistle. Both of you spin up as fast as you can. And the person that's carrying the ball is trying to get past you and you're trying to stop it.
Yeah.
And my brother was a truck, and he like was just mean and vicious and fast and strong. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but they pinned us against each other.
Of course
right?
they did.
And it was, I remember it was, I remember what was going through my head being like, I'm going to try and kind of tackle him. I can't stop him head on, so I'm just going to try and let him and do one of those arm tackles, maybe trip him or something. And I remember, like, I did that, and I didn't tackle him. And they go, again. I did it. Didn't tackle him. Again. Didn't tackle him. And finally, I remember the coach yelling in my face saying, all I want you to do is just stand there. And my little brain goes, okay, I'm just going to stand there. And I spun up, and I stood there. And Sean hit me square like in the face mask, and I did one of those flyback moments. I don't know that they knew what concussions were back then. I'm not sure, but I swear to this day I had one. I remember just looking up and being like the worst splitting headache. Everyone cheering me on. I didn't tackle him either.
Yeah.
But just that I took the hit, and I was like, I'm done. Like,
yeah.
If everyone's cheering for me because I just didn't get out of the way, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
I need somebody else here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So football, never again.
That's
Never again. Watched it a lot. That's it.
that's a funny story.
Yeah.
If you watch back any of the episodes, I had Eddie on yesterday. So Eddie's a big farm boy.
Okay.
And he played football. He loved it. He's like, I was ready. He's like, I was there to hurt somebody, basically.
Yeah.
He was like, and the story he told, say he played lacrosse, he played football, he played basketball, he played lacrosse. But you looking at him, you were like, boy, big boy, you can't get around no basketball. But,
one of those. Yeah.
But I didn't know that about him, which was cool. But he had a hilarious story about lacrosse where this dude like checked him, like blindsided checked him. And he thought he had a concussion. They had him on the sideline, had his helmet off. And he said he saw his helmet over there. They took his helmet off. And he ran over there, grabbed his helmet, put his helmet on, and V-line to this dude to just start waylaying on top of him.
Yeah, man. There's some people that just have that little extra gear of craziness that just, you turn it on, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
It was awesome. So if you ever get the chance to watch it.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going from that, so football is done.
Yeah.
But you didn't stop playing sports.
No. Sports have always been a part of my life to
Right.
the point where, I've got a full-time successful job and I'm still trying to figure out how do I squeeze sports into it.
But from middle school, because just football, I'm done with football. That was middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about high school?
Yeah. So middle school, I also wrestled. That was so pre-middle school was the football because I was like 5th or 6th grade.
Okay.
Then traditional middle school, I guess what they call 7th and 8th grade. I was in wrestling and tennis.
Okay.
And focused on those two. And then throughout high school, had such an opportunity with tennis that I put wrestling to the side, focused on tennis, and I thought that was going to be my life. I thought that was going to be my career.
That good?
I apparently not. Oh. I was good enough to think that it could be, but I wasn't good enough mentally to kind of deal with everything that came from it.
Okay.
To really make a career out of it. And also I kind of just learned that I really didn't love tennis. I just was good and loved winning. And when that started to stop, it went really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So so high school, tennis all through high school,
Yeah.
and then beyond.
Yeah. So, wrestled, and that's a really kind of important keynote to my
Okay.
story, but kind of side shelve it, like foreshadowing.
Right. I
kind of
didn't know
thing.
you had. I thought you had just. You said you stopped wrestling. When did you stop wrestling?
I stopped freshman year of high school.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm done at this point in the story. Like, no more wrestling. That's past, but it comes back
To
up.
focus on. Oh, but it comes back.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
why like it kind of comes back.
Can we?
So yeah,
Let's go there. Let's tell me how. If it's in conjunction with tennis and then
yeah,
so that's cool.
yeah. It's a pretty flowy story that kind of, if there's something about my life that kind of, if you were to put like an identity in some sorts, like sports is it, mostly because it's still relevant in some aspects of my life today,
Yeah.
despite having hung everything up. And now, like, if you were to say, hey, what do you do for work? Right. I've got my successful career and what I built up.
Right.
And, it's just at that point where, kind of like my dad, like I've been successful in it. I'm making money and supporting my family. I've been very fortunate. I'm good at it, but it's not my passion.
Yeah.
It always comes back to sports. So maybe my story is kind of still ongoing, right? Where do I get back into sports? How do I fit this back into my life? Knowing that I've got this great thing going, but knowing that it's a balance between my passions and supporting my family, right? If I sacrifice my passions to just focus on my family, what am I teaching my daughter? What are the values that I'm really saying are important? So trying to live it out, and I'm still trying to figure out how to find that.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry
No, you're
to
good.
derail it.
Good. A little bit closer. Just a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah. And so with sports, yeah, tennis. Yeah, freshman year gave it or focused fully on that. Gave up wrestling, right? And that was what I thought was going to be my life. So I played tennis. Came to New Braunfels, where we're at, and went to John Newcomb Tennis Academy. So was playing out there, training, and when I turned 18, maybe it was still 17 at the time, I was on their international touring team.
Oh wow.
So I would go play. We went and played in England and Scotland,
That's crazy.
and it was cool.
How do you get to do that though? Like, is it a club membership? Do you gotta get invited? Like, how did that process start for someone?
Yeah, I don't know how it's still or how it looks today or anything really about it at this point, but at that time, it was, you would go, there was a special kind of like week dedicated to those trying to get onto that touring team, and then you would compete that week through, typical training and all that stuff, and then they would select, I can't remember, a set number of boys, a set number of girls. And
Was it certain age groups that they were selecting?
Yeah, it was all under 18, but I want to say probably somewhere between like the 13 to 18-year-old range, making that selection, and mostly on the higher end of that. So kids from all over would come, and it was a really humbling experience for me, and really honestly shaped the rest of my life in so many ways, because it didn't go so well.
Well, before you keep going,
Yeah.
what made the decision to come to New Braunfels? Was it because of that academy?
Yeah, it was for John Newcomb. So John Newcomb is an Aussie tennis player. He's one of the most winningest tennis players in the history on the tour. He has, don't quote me on this, more than a dozen doubles Grand Slam titles. So your Wimbledon, Australian Open, U.S. Open, French Open. I don't know if he ever won the French, but he's got a lot of high accolades. And he came and he got this land and started this camp academy out here in New Braunfels. And it's still there, right off 46. And they do a great job. And it was really welcoming. It felt like home for me. So trained out there and went through high school and played at Fredericksburg, but would commute and work out here. And yeah, then I became one of the coaches out there for a little while as well.
So but you got to travel with them.
Yep.
How long did that last?
Not very long. Maybe about a month. I came back and was like, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. What brought that decision on?
So the time over there was very much like, hey, like you've got to be mentally mature, you've got to be emotionally mature, you got to be ready for it, and I wasn't. I thought that I'm not really sure what I thought,
right?
To be honest, even to this day.
You're saying a lot of pressure for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, went over there, was playing, grown men. One of the guys I remember very vividly in Liverpool was hitting with Neil Skupski, and at the time, you'll appreciate this. So Neil Skupski is from Liverpool, and we were hitting together at this local place where he grew up. And I remember thinking, I'm going to show this guy like that I'm good enough. And we were just hitting. And it made it very evident that I was not ready to play at that level, even just in that session, in that moment, like understanding the chord on grass, never played on grass before. He played number 1 at LSU. I want to say, sorry if I get this wrong, he may have won a national title there or something.
I'm going to have to look this up.
And he's definitely won Grand Slam doubles titles, though, with his brother. They won Wimbledon.
That's awesome.
But at this time, he wasn't that.
Right.
I just thought he was just some guy from Liverpool.
Yeah.
That, I should be able to beat.
No.
Wasn't going to happen. And it made it very obvious just in like the first seconds of hitting with him.
Uh-huh.
And it's just funny because I saw him as just an average Joe. And that guy is now a Grand Slam winner. And it's like, had I known that, I probably would have had a different outlook and expectation when I was hitting with him. But that moment really embarked this kind of, I'm not good enough.
Okay.
And now that started to seep in, that doubt into my identity, I always thought my identity was tennis. And it's really not great to put your identity into sports.
Is it doubt, or is it just you come to a realization that I know I gave everything I possibly could to this. Unfortunately, I don't have it, the gift like some of these other people do.
I would say that I probably would, excuse me.
Yeah, you're good.
I would agree with that to some level, the old version of me, but in time that's kind of passed, I realized that that's just not the truth. I'd be lying to myself.
So you're saying you didn't work hard enough?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. I like, whether it be, this may sound crazy and it's kind of a new thing back then. And I'm sure you can attest to this. Our generation was very focused on it was drive mentality. Like if you have the motivation, you motivate yourself. If not, like a lot of yelling, coaches yelling, motivating, right? You messed up. What had happened? You got yelled at or you had to do things like, I don't know how running lines is going to teach me how to like mentally want to stand there and take a hit from somebody twice my size. Right. So instead we're saying, if you run lines, hopefully you'll be afraid of running lines enough that you just stand there and stand in the way.
Yeah. And
what I'm realizing is my mental health, like I was everywhere. My physical ability, my speed, my strength, my technique, they were all up there, and they were all at the same level of these athletes that I was competing against. Otherwise I wouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah. You wouldn't have been selective to be there for sure.
But mentally I was like a 2-year-old.
How does that, because you've played all these sports and you've had all these tough coaches. How do you, I guess people react differently, right?
Sure.
I mean, you can't train as someone that was in the Army for a long time, and I knew I had different soldiers had different way of responding.
Yeah.
Some soldiers didn't take to, being hollered at or yelled at.
Sure.
You know, some soldiers just didn't get motivated when you talk to them in a soft way, you know. So it's like you can't understand what other person, how they perceive something or receive information and what they'll do with it. So I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're kind of like,
I needed that push. I needed somebody to yell
Yeah.
at me. Let me get that straight.
Okay.
And like I needed that drive.
okay,
But
you was on your own out there.
that's what I was getting. When you're in tennis, you like, when do you see that? When do you see a coach able to get in you? Like, coaches aren't allowed to talk from the coaches' boxes.
Okay.
So what do you do when everything's silent? What do you do when you make a mistake and everyone watching
You start, yeah,
is silent?
yeah,
In football, you make a mistake or something good happens. No matter what, there's noise.
yeah,
There's feedback. It's like a dog, like listening to a command and getting excited when they did it right because they hear you,
yeah,
or they hear the disappointment in your voice, and you know that you want to make them happy. So like, you know what you need to do differently.
right.
I had that in wrestling. I had that everywhere. Now in tennis, you make a mistake and it's just eerily silent.
You know, now that you say that, and I've watched tennis, and you're right. That the stands, even the fans are like, if something happens and it's someone they're pulling for, what they just don't say nothing.
Yeah.
So they just kind of like walk back to the line and get ready to either serve or receive. You know.
So where does the voice come from? It comes from inside.
Yeah.
And so that self-talk inside myself was extremely negative, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you messed up. Like, man, you know what you're doing. You suck. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I just kind of, I assume some people are like me, that if they do something well and somebody sees it and they recognize it, they go, man, you did an awesome job, dude. Keep that up. That motivates you to do it again.
Yeah.
And if I'd known or really kind of worked on my self-talk and stuff within, you know, I could really get out of those situations, or I could really see the grass for how green it actually is.
Right.
But instead it was always, I'm not good enough, or man, that just, you suck. And it wasn't right.
Yeah, and that's where the self-doubt you're talking about
Yeah.
came in. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so unfortunately, this happens. You come back,
Mm-hmm.
but do you go right into coaching right away, or
Yeah, so I come back and I coach a little bit, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Had some offers to go play collegiately, but I was done. Yeah, I'd come to the conclusion that I hated the sport and I just liked winning, and I wasn't having fun anymore.
yeah,
So I didn't want to do it. So I wanted to go to college, have a good time. Didn't know what I wanted to do, had no goals. So my life, this is where I talk about identity being wrapped up in sports, is I had no clue what I wanted to do when that fell apart.
yeah,
No idea.
yeah,
I just was like, I need to figure something out. So I went to college in Ohio. And while up there, I played some tennis a little bit and hated it and was just so angry at the world. So angry. So the only thing that I was really focused on at that time was music.
Can you talk about a little bit what was making you angry?
Yeah, just that I felt like I had no purpose anymore.
Okay.
Like, why am I alive? What is my existence worth?
Yeah.
Like, I tennis was everything that I knew the last 4 years. I'd wake up, I'd eat, sleep, dream tennis. But mentally, I never really knew how to support myself to where I could lean on those things. That's kind of where I'm talking about the self-help. Like, if that one area was just stronger, I'd probably have a lifelong sport on my hands that I'm still,
Yeah.
ticking with. But I just didn't have that talk. So it got to the point where that thing grew so much that it didn't matter about anything else that I was able to do with tennis. It was going to be a black spot on it.
It unfortunately it sounds like it's followed you to college.
Yeah, my whole life, like it just did. And so then that self-doubt, right? Now, when that's gone, now it's creeping into other areas. It was like this thing, this monster I was just kind of feeding and growing. And so now that I didn't have tennis, so imagine after class, you're like, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go play tennis. I have friends that are in tennis that my whole life. My buddies were tennis buddies. So we would go eat, hang out, play video games together, do life together. Well, now I don't have that. Now I'm a kid in Ohio, don't know anyone, don't have tennis to like develop a friendship group
Right.
and an identity of people that I can grow with from a starting point. I don't know what my purpose is. No, had no major selected and was trying to figure out, right, all in real time. So I was angry. So that doubt started creeping into those other areas of my life.
Yeah.
And so then, I got extremely depressed. And, got into insert, all the bad things, drugs, alcohol, tried to commit suicide.
And this is in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're away from family.
Yes.
There's no support system around at that time.
Not really.
What did you turn to? How did you?
That was music. That's where the music came in. Yeah.
Okay. And how did that start? And did you hear somebody play something on, was you walking? Did you hear something? Did you go to a concert or a fair or something?
Yeah. This is awesome that, you're asking these questions because to be perfectly honest, I haven't really thought about how all of these things in my life connect to layer into a story.
Right.
So I kind of have all these like mini stories around metaphorically in my head. And so this is kind of helping me kind of organize them and go, oh, there's a story here.
Well, so you're the first person I've actually interviewed that has no idea about your background. Everyone else I've interviewed is like people I work with, people, friends with, or someone I knew at least a little bit about their background. So this is fascinating.
It's exciting stuff.
It is very exciting.
So I music inserted kind of in high school while I was playing tennis because I was traveling a lot and there was a lot more road time. It was right around the time that MP3s were coming out, the first generation iPods and stuff. So it was an open access to music in this world. So I'm kind of going through all that, right? Music was never bigger than it was in those moments because of how it first became accessible to people now.
Yeah.
Before that, it was VH1's top 20 countdown.
Yep.
Right. There's Eve 6. Oh, there's Blink-182.
Yeah.
All the cool stuff. And Creed. So now I had this iPod. So then it was rap, Eminem. Whoa, who's this?
Yeah.
This guy's great. And then, I started getting into metal music. Right. I think the first one I remember listening to was a buddy of mine introduced me to a band called Atreyu, who I no longer am a fan of. But at the time, it was like, whoa, these guys are screaming a little bit. So cool. Then it went into this August Burns Red, As I Lay Dying era. And I played tennis and listened to music, and I loved this music. And then what are they saying? Like, I can't understand a word that they're saying. Why are they yelling? And what do these words mean?
Yeah.
And really reading into those. And then it was, whoa, this As I Lay Dying band's a Christian band and God's cool. Yeah. And started like leaning into faith a little bit, but kind of haphazardly. It was more of I love that these guys are standing for something.
Right.
And that was really cool. It was like a connection point to me because outside of sports all growing up, if you were to see me outside of the house, we lived on a ranch in Kerrville, I'd be out. There were trees in like a wooded area pretending I was Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, cool.
Like, dude, I'm a total fantasy guy. And so that was, I always liked protagonists. Like, I stand for something, right? I'm Aragorn. Or with As I Lay Dying, they stand for something, our faith. And it was really cool. So anyways, going into college now at this point, I'm listening to a lot of metal music. And I'm noticing that I'm getting naturally drawn and attracted towards like a certain subgenre called metalcore. And a lot of those bands, at least the ones that I really enjoyed, came out of Texas. It was, Norma Jean, O Sleeper, and I would listen to their lyrics, and they happened to be Christian bands. And so that was kind of my next thing in life was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And then I tried to get into like bands and did that for a little bit. And that kind of filled that black hole spot of time, from sports at tennis and giving that up to, you know, post college, getting back into sports. Like I told you, it comes back up, but, music was that escape, and, it pulled me out of the gutter in a lot of ways. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Did you end up finishing school in Ohio?
Mm-hmm. I did, but I did take a detour. I was in Ohio. I started dating a girl while in college who was back in Texas, who went to another school, but we knew each other in high school, and we met because of tennis.
Right.
She didn't play tennis, but a lot of her friends did from that other school. So we dated long distance. My brother went to go play football at UTSA for the inaugural season with Larry Coker, whoever else. But so he was going to be transferring there. The girl I was dating at the time was at a college university here in Texas and was going to transfer as well. And so to be close, like we mutually agreed that we'd go there. So I transferred to UTSA for half a year. Obviously, it didn't go great. That was where the first kind of attempt at suicide kind of really happened, and then I moved back to Ohio.
Because of the breakup?
Yeah, so it was real nasty. You know, I was very isolated from people, and also my brother. So if you can envision, like through this journey, music was now was a very important part of my life, and I didn't know, but at this time, I really was trying to become like a good Christian, right? By definition, the Christian. So no bad things, no alcohol, none of this stuff, like really working at it. So I transferred, and my brother and I shared an apartment together, and he was a party animal. And
So he was the, I would say, the opposite of where you were going.
yeah, life was great. He was laughing. He had all these friends. He would always be partying, always had girls over. And I was this just
straight and narrow.
No, didn't know anyone, had this girlfriend, but she kind of like didn't want me hanging around with my brother because of what came with my brother.
I guess I'm assuming that she was going the same route you were going, the Christian route. Faith.
No, not really.
Oh, so okay.
She was, but she wasn't like.
I was just drawing a conclusion because you're saying that she didn't want you around that atmosphere.
She didn't want me around it because it was a control thing, I think. You know, like my brother brought all this around him, mostly girls, right? Like we said, and like now I'm you're hanging out with them kind of thing. And at the time, you know, you're young, you don't think anything of it, but it was a confidence thing, right? Like like my wife, I trust her wholeheartedly. I don't like wherever my wife goes, I don't care who she's around, I trust her. But at that age and that time, you think that you're supposed to like prevent people from these situations so something bad couldn't happen or whatever. But if you trust somebody, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So anyways, I realize now that maybe she was dealing with some stuff and just didn't want me around for whatever reason. It sucked, but I probably shouldn't have been around it anyways, but for a different reason.
Right.
So, and then lo and behold, we had another roommate who we went to high school together, and great dude, great guy. And he asked one day, you know, hey, who's that guy that your girlfriend's been hanging out with? And that kind of just led down this pathway. Don't want to get, you know, too involved in kind of the muddiness of it, but I knew I needed to get out of the situation. I knew I needed to get out. So, because what had happened is now it became kind of a game where I blamed myself. The same thing about insert the self-talk with tennis. Like, you suck. You know, you missed that forehand. You're terrible. You're just not good. And then insert this situation. I get cheated on. I go, you're not good looking enough. You're not man enough. You're not strong enough. You're not all these things.
Right.
I was the reason.
Yeah.
I put a lot of I put a lot of failures on myself.
Yeah.
Or anyways, whatever you want to call it, failures or, fallouts, whatever. And so I really personalized it and said, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden we're trying to get back together, but like, she cheated, man. It like, whether it be that I actually caught her cheating or she had been talking to somebody and lying about it, like it's all the same,
Right.
in my eyes. Like I wouldn't break that trust, and with my wife. And so, anyways, I remember I went and saw the doctor. I finally was admitting to feeling like I am depressed, right? I'm thinking suicidal thoughts. I am negative with myself. Everything sucks. And they put me on Lexapro.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
So, was there anyone else you felt confident in confiding in this, or did you not know it at the time until someone started asking the right questions?
So think about, like I said, with my dad with sports. We didn't talk about these things. We never talked about emotions.
Yeah. Emotions
were never a part of our, vernacular, our repertoire, our language. So life was just sports. At the dinner table, it was sports. And so we didn't know how to open up about these emotions and these feelings. Okay. And we just bottled them and contained them. Part of that, hey, I thought everyone was raised the same way kind of thing, right? So I had all this inside, and the doctor I still kind of like haphazardly answered some of the questions, but they got me on the Lexapro.
Yeah.
And started on that. And it made things way worse. So I'll never forget, like, I went back to our apartment. I can't really remember the scenario that drove this out, but I remember looking at myself in the mirror, extremely disappointed in myself and all of my shortcomings and seeing all my flaws. And I just had this thought that, like, I wanted all of these voices to stop, all of them to just shut up. And lo and behold, and how old was I? 19-year-old kid.
Wow. Thinking
that the way to shut them up is to just silence them by beating my head, right? So I started beating myself up. And I remember my brother walking in, seeing my face, and goes, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah.
Sorry if
no, you're good.
No, I just remember him going, "What the fuck happened, Hunter?" And I just remember started like crying. So he called. He goes, "You need to call Mom." So I called our mom, and I need to give my mom a little more credit, I think, now thinking back about this situation. I remember she had her sister in town, and she's like, I'm going to come see you. And I can't remember if it was that same day or the next day, but she came, and my aunt and stuff were there. And I remember her looking at me in the eye, because I could only see out of one eye. Damn. And her looking at me and just the sadness in her face. And my aunt as well, just like, it wasn't like, oh my God, who is this kid? Like, look at what he did. It was more of are you okay? And I could see the right side of my face from my left eye. Like, it was so swollen. I remember thinking that the Lexapro kind of made me a zombie.
Yeah.
So I got back on the Lexapro and I just felt like a zombie. And, or that's when I actually got on Lexapro. I apologize that in that timeline. So then I got on Lexapro and it made me feel like a zombie. I had no feelings, no emotions. I remember just like not caring about anything. It didn't matter what it was. And, I finally was like, I've got to figure something out. So I called a buddy of mine in Ohio. And I said, "Hey, man, if I get you a ticket to come down, will you drive up to Ohio with me?" And without question, he said yes. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I called the school, tried to re-enroll back at the old school, and they didn't have like spots, and everything was just kind of like, they're like, it's too late. And then I got a call, and they're like, we'll figure out what we can do. And they got me a spot, and they're like, but we don't have anywhere for you to live. Wait a second, we've got one spot. And so I go up there, and I don't know who my roommate's going to be. I don't know anything going on. I'm just getting back there. And I get back, and I remember Michael was his name. I was so scared of myself that I asked Michael, or maybe it was his idea. I can't remember anymore, but it was, take my phone. It's gonna go off. Like they're gonna reach out. They're gonna call me, figure out what's going on.
What was the draw back to Ohio? Because you're from Texas. You had families here.
Yeah.
You have a big family.
Yeah.
So what was the draw to get away from family and go back to Ohio?
So in that music time frame, I found a group of friends.
Okay.
That were in music and metal, and they were music production majors at the school.
Oh,
and wow. They were so accepting of me. They didn't know me for my tennis. They didn't know me for anything else. And at the time, I didn't know how accepting they were. And I was just trying to like fit in with them, and they were just accepted me. And, I'll be honest, man, I burned a lot of those bridges and a lot of those friendships because of that immaturity that I had. Like when I talk about my mental health being so important to me, it prevented me from where I wanted to go in tennis. It prevented me from lifelong relationships with friends, because, I didn't know what I had. And it just kept blocking me from success. I had those friends, and Michael came down. He was one of those friends. He was a bassist in a band, and he was into like kind of punk rock type stuff, and really cool dude. We drove up, and I just remember, I can't remember who came up with it, but it was, he was going to have my phone, and I didn't tell my girlfriend, we were trying to work it out, that I was leaving. I remember going, knocking on her door, her answering, and me just going, I'm out. Like, I'm leaving. And I remember making that decision for myself.
Yeah.
And so we get in the car, and she kind of, blows it off or whatever, and we're driving, and next thing I know, my phone is blown up.
Yeah.
Blown up. And to this day, I have no idea what any message said or any voicemail.
I think you made the right decision by not looking at it.
Yeah, so we deleted everything as it came through.
Good.
And we're talking like hundreds of texts.
You know how many people will actually sit there and read it and dwell on it and then turn around and probably stop the car or whatever, or go back? I think you made a good decision.
It was kind of that make or break moment for my life. I mean,
and I'm sure it was difficult to not want to read and listen.
Honestly, man, I'm not sure. Yeah, you're probably right. 99% of the time, absolutely.
Yeah.
This 1%, I think I was so far over the edge.
Right.
I just tried to like beat myself senseless. I just got on medication. I was like, it was kind of one of those, if I don't do this,
right,
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
And I don't know if you've watched any of my other episodes.
No.
I talk about a story that I came to a young soldier, and I never met him. It's a new unit I get to, and I'm in processing this unit, and he's a specialist, and I'm a staff sergeant at the time, and I talked to him, and for a few minutes here and there, and asked him about how he's doing and what's his career path look like, and he's talking, and so I go on about, because it's only a short time that I'm talking to this guy, right? And because I'm in processing, and so I'm like, everything's good in my head. He's okay, he seems okay. A few days later, my sergeant major comes and he says, "Hey, Sergeant Major, I need you to come. I need to talk with you and a couple of soldiers." And he tells us that I need y'all to go to this young soldier's house to clean up the outside area. Well, we lost him. He committed suicide. He took a shotgun to the. I gave this story one of my podcast episodes with Adam, And Adam was like, man, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, you don't know when you're talking to someone, you don't know what they're going through, even though they seem fine on the outside. So a lot of people don't get to the point to where you got to, you recognize something at a pivotal moment in your life. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're able to share the story, because hopefully there's gonna be many more people to get to hear this.
Yeah.
And they can do what you did and make the right decision at the right time.
Yeah, it was tough, man, because when you're in those situations, or I mean, it's not like it's happened multiple times. So from
Right.
the one I have when I was in that situation, it's you're not you. So like you're not thinking about the decision that you're making anymore. You're just thinking about a potential outcome of what you think is better. So it's kind of like it's hard because our life we're so focused on what's in front of us, like further down the road. They teach us that, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you working towards over here that we're not
Yeah.
thinking about the thing right here?
Yep.
And emotion is so right here, right? But because my whole life of training and there's always a goal, there's always something you're reaching towards,
Yeah.
right? Whether it be work, I mean, even with this, like your goal is to reach out to people.
Right.
That if we're so focused on the goal that we can't, feel the emotion or enjoy the things, right? That's that emotional state, that screen right in front of us. And so as I'm beating myself up, the emotion I should be feeling is, oh my gosh, this hurts. What am I doing? This is crazy. People don't act like this. What's going on? Why am I hurting myself? Ow, ow, ow.
Yeah.
But instead I'm thinking outcome. World's better without me. I'm not I'm not worthy. I've ruined my life. Like I had all these things. My dad exhausted so much money towards me becoming something, and I've become nothing in that area, right, where he contributed. Everyone knows me for this thing. This is my identity. It's no longer there. I'm so afraid of the embarrassment and what people think of me. I need to be gone. Versus, that emotion. And, now, like I talk about that mental health is, I'm realizing that the normal people of the world that are that can handle it well in that area, they focus on that emotional state. And it's kind of like driving, right? If I'm driving my car and I'm just looking 5 feet in front of me, I'm going to probably cause a wreck because I'm just reacting to everything as quickly as I see it. You've got to look all the way down the full mirror, the full length of the road to see what's going on. Your mind knows what's happening right here. And so trying to find that balance between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, it's, I feel blessed and I feel lucky, because when that was happening, I wasn't thinking about that emotion. And a lot of people, God rest his soul, your buddy or the guy that you knew that with that ended his life. I know that he was thinking about, otherwise it wouldn't happen, right? You're thinking about that next thing, that layer in front of you. And that's why I talk about mental health being so important, is because enjoy the the feelings in the moments that they happen, right? Like, two things can be true. I can hit an amazing shot on the court in tennis, and it be just this beautiful shot that felt so pure and so good. And also the guy got it back and I couldn't get to it and he scored the point.
Yeah.
But if I'm so focused on the outcome, winning that point, nothing about what is happening matters.
Right.
And if we're living life that way, nothing about it matters. If we're constantly chasing something, then everything else that's happening is just something spiraling that's just existing and to that goal.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I almost want to say you need to slow down, and live in the moment and appreciate everything else, and be able to adjust, when something else doesn't go or you don't get to that goal. You need to be able to adjust. But so I want to get back to the story.
Yeah.
You're headed back. You're ignoring all these text messages, you're ignoring the voicemails, and I think you said Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, y'all getting back to Ohio. So you're on a road trip now, and you're headed back. Let's go from there.
Yeah. Long trip, long drive to not read text messages. And also, I mean, let's be honest, there's a little bit of a, like, I do matter when somebody's reaching out to you 70, 80, 90 times and you're not responding. It's like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, I've got to remember that there's like another person in this, right? And they had whatever they were going through and their emotions, and their boyfriend just like up and left, right? Like, despite what they did, right? That's still something that's pretty drastic. So, but in that moment, I'm only thinking about me and just like, yes, like I've got this power now, and I'm starting to build up a little bit. So then we get back to Ohio, and it was crazy, you know, like everyone at the university that lived on campus had a roommate. I didn't. And I was the last person to get on campus.
That's crazy.
So it like worked out, right? Now I've got this big spot to myself. But I was still in this darkness, right? Like I got away from the thing that I thought that I needed to, not because of them, but also because of me. I needed to get out of that. So I get out, and now I'm in this safe spot. So now it's integral. Like, what do I feed myself with? What happens next? So I hung out with my metal buddies, and I never wanted to be alone. I wanted to be with them 24/7. So then I got into metal music, and that was really kind of that growth from there. And then focusing on my faith, right? Trying to be a Christian and go to church. And I thought I wanted to be a youth pastor.
Okay.
So, excuse me. I thought I wanted to be a youth pastor. I was an intern at a church. In my summers, I would go intern at churches as a youth pastor intern. And I thought, similar to you, I was like, man, I've got this story that I really want to tell, that I really want to help people. And I thought that was kind of going to be my platform, my journey. I was going to find the kids that didn't belong, that felt like they didn't belong, and give them a place to feel included and belong. Then I didn't, you know, I didn't want to do that anymore. When I graduated, so I did that for those years. And then when I graduated college, it was time to find a real job. I thought, okay, I was going to be in church and find a real job and kind of do the both, and then try and become a youth pastor. Found a job, moved back to Texas, and didn't feel right with what was happening with my faith. So my identity now was wrapped up in my faith. Like, now I'm seeking out, trying to do that. But I had a weird experience. My senior year of college, junior year, one of the two, I went and worked at a ministry for the summer. And it derailed my faith completely.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, so if you want to share, like, what does it entail when you working at this ministry?
I don't want to get into the specifics, but it's a place where ultimately families would go for. It's a very wealthy area, right on the water, and families would come and pay exorbitant fees to come to that ministry for a week, and they would live on the water. And everything would be catered.
So this is a large place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything would be catered to them. So their whole kind of thing is we're gonna reach out to, even those that have a lot of money need ministering. And I was like, that makes sense. Everyone does, no matter who they are. So they did, and that was their clientele, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it was very odd for me because they were like, hey, we don't care, but we need you to cut your hair. We don't care, but you can't have your your gauged years. And so like I had gauged years, I had long hair, I had my tattoos. Hey, we don't care.
He was in a band.
Yeah, we don't care. But if you could, do something about your like tattoos, kind of cover them whenever the people are here. We want to make this an open area for everyone when they come, that they can feel included. And I grew so hateful of my faith. I'm like, okay, so you're asking me to cover myself up so that way I won't be judged.
Yeah.
Because we want this to be a place where nobody should be judged.
Yep.
So I've got to make myself unjudgeable to not be judged and be like everyone else. Yeah. And then there was like, hey, also, like when I say they worked us like dogs, it felt like free, like real human labor. It wasn't ministering.
Right.
Like it was, we minister them by the things that we do. Okay, what does that mean? That means one night a week you have to wear a suit, and you're going to be a waiter, and there's a romantic dinner evening on the lake for the parents of these families one of these days of the weeks, and we need 7 of you guys to be waiters. Okay, so hold on a second. I'm going to minister to these people
by waiting on them.
Not talking to them about God, nothing, and treating them like they're kings and queens.
Yep.
Like I don't interrupt their conversation.
Yeah.
And like, you're going to set the table this way. You're going to do this.
Like,
and on the weekends, yeah, you get 2 days off. But wait, the first day, you don't get off until all the sheets are done in all the cabins. Everything is clean. Everything's back to the starting point. Everything's squared away. I'm telling you, man, that didn't happen. Picking up goose poop because it's on the water.
Yeah.
It didn't happen until we weren't done until like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's 6 p.m. on our first day off, and now we're off. And we have to be back the next day by like noon.
And this, you're doing this. Are you gaining? Do you? What do you get out of? Are you getting college credit for this? No. Are you getting paid for this?
No.
You're wanting to go back and help people and
I thought it was going to be good towards my ministry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And instead, I walked away going, I just graduated college, or I'm in my final year. I graduated, and I don't want anything to do with my faith.
I can see.
It felt like, and I was kind of the. It was funny because I remember everyone else that worked there kind of just being okay with it,
yeah,
and being like, it's just like we know what this is what it is. And I remember being like, am I the crazy one? Like, hold on a second, guys.
Let's think about this. This does not make sense.
Yeah, so I was like the oddball out, and I was just like,
wild. Yeah,
I felt like very like Twilight Zone-y.
I was about to say that.
And I was like, what is happening? And I didn't, like, looking back, I'm like, how is this a thing? Like,
yeah.
How?
Yeah.
And now so that kind of killed the faith for me. I still believe in a higher power and all these things, but like, I don't want to be in churches. I don't want to be a youth pastor.
Yeah.
I want to just be the best man I can be, and just be an example. Just let people draw their own conclusions.
Right. I grew up in Louisiana. We grew up.
Let me guess, Southern Baptist.
Everybody says that. I couldn't tell you. I was Baptist.
Yeah.
I could not tell you. I can't tell you the difference between a Baptist and Southern Baptist.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know. If I was Southern Baptist, I was Southern Baptist. I have no idea.
I just think that Southern Baptist means Baptist somewhere in Texas or Louisiana.
Okay. Then yeah. But if there's a difference, then somebody please tell me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be, discredit the
right.
I just my own assumptions, right?
And my family, very Christian faith and all that, and I was too up to the point. Joined the military when I was 21 and traveled, different countries, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Africa, and somewhat hear other countries,
Yeah.
stuck in between Germany and Uzbekistan and Kuwait, Qatar, and all that stuff, right?
Wow. Okay.
So over the time, I started to just, do my own kind of like thinking and questioning. And so up to about pretty recently, I'll say a few years ago, that I was like, you know, I'm just going to do me. And I don't have a faith. I don't believe in a higher power. I don't believe in anything really.
Mm-hmm.
I just live my life
Yeah.
the way I want to live it. So that's where I'm at. But for people that find usefulness or some type of sense of belonging, or whatever they want to call it, whatever you want to do, if that's what makes them feel strength or keeps them moving forward, that's what I'm here about.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
I want you to find something, grab onto it, and if that's what keeps you to keep moving forward, keep driving on, keep drinking water and driving on,
Yeah.
do that. If that's what makes you happy, do it. I'm not here against it. I'm not, or I'm not going to sit here and speak against it because, hey, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's you. You do you.
Absolutely, man. I 100% agree. Faith is whatever motivates you to want to be a better individual.
Right.
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah.
And I don't, want to sit here and sound like I'm, sarcastic towards religion or making fun of it. People, I respect anyone that believes it.
Yeah.
For me, it felt there was a time and place that helped guide me through a lot and got me to where I am today. But now I'm I just want to live my life, because there are so many people. I mean, we live in Texas. Obviously, Sunday church is a huge deal,
Yeah.
right? You go to HEB at noon on a Sunday, you see that everyone went to church that day, right? But those are the same people that are cutting me off in traffic, that are, trying to rush to get in front of me at the grocery line, giving dirty looks, and just moments after you just went and, filled yourself with the Holy Spirit, right?
Yeah.
So to speak. And what's hard for me is I remember just seeing this change. Like for me, it was finding God was like, okay, I went through this. The protagonist, Aragorn, right? That like this was the protagonist of life.
Yeah.
This was the dude. So like I wanted to be an example of that, because that was my motivating thing. I wanted to be a good man, and I wanted to be powerful and strong and stand for something. So I wanted to live an exemplary life of that. And so in church, seeing people living and not living that way, but being in leadership. And then all of a sudden I'd start to see, like, hey, why is the pastor, like, why are people like treating him like a celebrity when they go talk to him? Like, oh, I'm just waiting to talk to the pastor. Well, there's 6 pastors all standing there receiving at people to pray for, but everyone's in line for this one.
Yeah.
Does this guy have a higher connection to God? Why is he the one?
Yeah.
And they
Good
treat him
question.
like celebrities.
Yeah.
Or you go to, music before. Why are there smoke shows and lights? And it's because it's trying to draw that emotion, right? And so
that endorphin.
If we can get that high and that emotion, then people are, I hate to say it, but it's a lot like car sales, right? Like the best time to sell someone is while they're there on the lot. If they go home, they're not buying that car.
Nope.
They're going to look at someone else's price. They're going to think. They're not coming back. The best chance is right there when you've got them emotionally invested. What does church do? Any new visitors here this week?
Yeah.
Let's talk with emotion. Let me lower my voice.
Let's put on the light show.
Let's put on these things. Everyone close your eyes.
Dim everything.
Yeah, get them.
Put on good music.
Guitar coming.
And the music does play effect.
Yeah.
The lighting plays. I don't think people understand how that stuff is geared to, like you said, trigger some type of emotion, some type of reaction, some type of feeling towards you. It's why they do it what they do,
And I get it.
I get it. I do too.
I get it. Like we want to help
Some people do need it.
Yes. But they need, what do they need? Do they need the church? Do they need that pastor? Do they need God? What is the thing that we're really selling? And so what was difficult for me was like now you see pastors that are committed for sex crimes. You know, all of these things of these big churches, these leaders that have horrible things go on. And I'm like, these are the people we're looking up to. These are the people that are our leaders.
Yeah.
And then I look back on Aragorn and I go, what made Aragorn a leader? Did he say, I got this? I'm the closest thing to what's right, so I'll lead everyone? Or was he like, yeah, I don't want to do this? And everyone's like, no, that's our leader, right? The leader hardly is ever the one that steps in and says, this is my job.
Right.
And so if I want to be a leader, if I want people to follow, like that's again, worried about the goal. Then I'm living my life as a charade trying to get to that goal. If I just focus on the here and now and making the choices that I can make that I believe in are right, it'll show.
Yeah, that ultimately, hopefully, will get to that goal. Or, you know, like you just said, you're going to focus on the here and now.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we would have a goal, but that doesn't mean the goal would not move based on some decisions that we may make if we focus on what's going on right now.
Yes, 100%. You said it. It's just like golf is my biggest thing in life right now. So like, it's just like golf, right? Like you got to get the ball in the hole.
Right.
Right. So you have a goal. So I don't want to discredit or make it seem like I'm not thinking that way. So I apologize because I'm talking so much about
No, I just
this
wanted to
stuff.
clarify for everybody.
You've got that hole. You've got that goal. You've got that marker set. I've got to get to that point.
Right.
Right. But if I'm focusing on hitting that ball right in that hole, I'm going to put myself in a lot worse position than if I play the course.
Exactly.
And
that's a very good way to put it.
I play everything that's available to me. Right. Yeah. There's oftentimes you watch the Masters when they're chipping in on an approach, right, onto that hole. They're focused on getting it on the green in the right spot to make that putt, set up that putt easier, because it's lost in the number of times that you're on the green putting.
Yeah.
Right. That's the difference. So if I can set up that putt for a shoe in, right, that's less putts, lower score.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go for that goal, yeah, you've got to know where you're ultimately going. But if your focus is that, then in every decision is made towards that goal.
Yeah.
Right. The decision of the club that I'm going to hit is because I want to hit that marker. I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
If I say I'm picking my club, yeah, I know that I want to get there, but this is going to get me there doing this thing right here, right now.
Right. Exactly.
I add those up, and eventually I look back and go, I got in here faster than anyone else. And I have a lower score.
Yep.
So life is the same way. As all I'm trying to get at is like, if I set that goal, like I want to be a leader, guess what? I already set that in my mind. I don't need to speak it. It's already in my heart, right? So as a kid, if I looked up to Aragorn, like that, you see that in your kid. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I'm so sorry. She's 4 now. But I look at her and I see who she is. I see the things that she wants. I see it just in the way that she lives. So I don't need to tell her or make sure that she knows that those things exist. That's going to be in her forever, right?
Yeah.
That little heart that I see that is just so pure, and I can see that she wants to help others. Guess what? Why do you often see that parents are like, I knew when she was a kid she was going to be a veterinarian. I knew she was going to be a doctor because she loved these things.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like I'm starting to see that. I go, man, I know this kid's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know it. So I don't need to teach her that.
Yeah.
It's already in her. Instead, I'm going to focus on the choices. Like, is this thing that's happening right now going to get me closer to helping others or further?
Yeah.
And if we keep opening the doors towards that right thing, we're going to get there.
Yep.
And so that's kind of all I'm getting at is just those, like, thinking about right here and now. If I want to be a leader, how do I become a leader?
Right.
I don't become a leader by focusing on becoming a leader and saying, how many people have watched my thing? How many people are following me? How many people are reviewing me, commenting, whatever. I need to start with those that are inside my control right now. So the people I encounter daily, seeing me as an example of a human being that they want to learn something from, because that's going to be the fastest rate of return, right? Yeah. I see them every day. The more times I have at throwing a dart on the board, the more likely I am to get a bullseye. And if I'm just like putting something out there with that end goal and saying, I'm going to make, I don't know, a video of me golfing, I'm going to post it on Instagram. Why are people not watching? Why don't I have enough thing? And I'm so focused on how many people are viewing it.
Right.
Well, what if I just didn't do that? and I went on the range, and if my swing was really good, then somebody sees me on the range
Yeah.
and goes, dude, you got it. And then like all because I showed up every single day at the range on my own,
Right.
throwing those darts on the board. Now I hit a bullseye. I got somebody I can connect with.
Yep.
I can talk to, but I'm not focused on anything else.
Yeah.
I'm just focused on doing me. And
I like that. I like that you said that. I feel like, and I want to emphasize on that, what you just said. I'm just focused on me, because a lot of people don't, and they do get distracted, or they do get discouraged because they're not getting, like you said, the views or the clicks like like they think they should be getting, whereas that they should be just focusing on themselves and
Yeah.
just keep grinding, keep going, keep chipping away.
yeah, the reason I'm here today is not to be on this thing.
Right.
Right. Like, to be perfectly honest, I saw it as an opportunity for going, is this a right, like, what am I doing with my time? Right. What's the right choice? And maybe it's therapeutic for me as well. Right. I don't really talk about emotions much. You see me sometimes at the gym. I go in,
And
I
you're focused.
just go and I get out.
Yep.
So it takes a lot of times where I'm sitting there reflecting, going, I didn't really connect with anyone. I didn't talk to many people today. My work is the same way. I'm very busy. I've got a lot of people that need help, that need direction. So I always feel like I have to have the answer. So, just focus on me. Maybe this is therapeutic for me, right? An opportunity to,
Yeah.
get that out there and keep focusing on me and growing. And, if there's an outcome from it, great. At the moment, it feels like the right choice, right?
Well, I'm glad you're here. So I'm glad you take me up on my offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's, like I said, the right choice for me to be here. And yeah, so yeah, I was doing that, kind of back to the story, of that. So I let go of the faith, and I still want to be the best person I can be. So now I come back to Texas, right? I've decided to hang up that faith aspect because of what I think of it now. And, I am focused on my career at the time. I was a strength and conditioning coach in Ohio right after college, for a high school. And I was also a wrestling coach. And I got my degree in ex-phys and nutrition, was a strength and conditioning specialist, got my CSCS and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Was at a high school there. So that's what I ended up doing in school. Obviously, we never really talked about majors and stuff. I kind of fell into it, and the gym as well. So the gym and music ended up being the stuff that I went into. So now I became a wrestling coach, and because if you were working at the school and you're going to be the strength coach, that wasn't just one full-time job for this school, so they needed you to do something else. So I was also a wrestling coach, and because I'd done wrestling a little bit. So not the head coach, an assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a good team, and I was not a great coach. So I wrestled a lot with the kids. Like my thing, my way of coaching was to be a body in there and helping some of the better wrestlers that were trying to go to state. Like, I was strong at this point. Now I've filled into my body, right? I'm a good weight, I'm a good structure, so I'm wrestling a lot with the kids. So I'm getting practice too. And then I decided I wanted to get into MMA. So that's what I kind of went into. So now I'm this strength coach, doing MMA, wrestling, all this stuff. But then home came calling. Texas. Came back to Texas, to New Braunfels, right? I got an opportunity. I didn't really know. I didn't want to be a strength coach anymore. I didn't want to be a trainer. I realized that, like, I like working out, but I don't like telling people how to work out. Like, trying to motivate people is a different animal.
It
right?
is. And I'm not a personal trainer yet, so I'm interning there. So I'm still learning. So
Yeah.
but I can already see. I've been there for 3 months, going on 3 months, pretty much, and it is different. I was in the Army, and I trained my soldiers and stuff like that, and I took them to the gym, and it was crazy to me because growing up I played sports too, and we worked out, so it was crazy to me to be with somebody like. I thought I knew what I was doing, and to some extent I knew a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But going through the course and the NASM course, and being around the coaches, you realize how much I don't know.
Sure.
But it's still kind of foreign to me right at this point.
Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, so I did that whole 9 yards, right? Went anatomy, physiology. I got the CSCS. I ended up getting a NASM CPT as well, just because I was like on the side. Am I just going to train to help supplement some of the income as a strength and conditioning specialist if I don't find the school right away? Because when I transferred back, or at this time I'm out of college, not transferred, but when I moved back to Texas, I was like, okay, I would love to go be a strength coach at UTSA or something with one of the sports, one of the football team, whatever. But in the event that that doesn't happen, right, maybe I can train people on the side while I'm finding the right fit. So I got the CPT and all that. But instead, one of the kids I coached in Ohio, I grew close to their family. And when I told them that I was moving, they're like, where to? I told them back home, San Antonio area, Texas. And they said, Sherry was her name. She actually and I worked together at the gym. And she was a trainer or coach as well. And because at this time the school year's out, I'm working at a gym as a personal trainer coaching, and she was there as well. And in the off time, I would have strength and conditioning clients, but then I would also use the gym and was a trainer for them. So her son, KJ, who's in the Army now, he was in sports, and so I was training him. And then when I told them that I was going to move, she's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know. I guess train. I'm not really sure. And she's like, well, if you need work, Kenny, her husband, his brother, is in construction down there. I said, okay, cool. Yeah. So I came down thinking she's like, I'll have him call you. I was like, okay, well, swinging a hammer. Maybe I'll do that to supplement income until I find something. But I'm not a swinging hammer kind of guy. He calls me, Steve, and I remember taking that call and him going, hey, is this Hunter? And I go, yes, sir, it is. And he goes, hey, look, man, I don't really do this, but I love Sherry, and she told me I needed to call you and, maybe get you a job and set you up if you needed one. And I was like, what an arrogant asshole to say something like that. But sure, yes, sir. Like, yeah, we can meet. Like, to say, like, I don't do this. Like, you're in construction, man. Like,
Yeah.
And then I met him, and I was like, oh, this guy's not in construction. He's in construction, but he's not in construction.
Right.
So he was the president of, a highly successful home building company in the San Antonio area, regionally to Texas. And I was like, oh, yep, I could see how he doesn't normally do this. Yeah. Cool, got it. And
he's got somebody else that does it for him.
Yeah, he's and so he gave me an opportunity to be an assistant construction superintendent, construction manager in residential home building. So I started doing that, and then I was training MMA. So I started that in my career and started training MMA. It was closer to my dad. My dad kind of was around now, and thought that those are now that's kind of the realm I'm in.
Yeah.
Started doing really well in construction. It made sense. I was really good at it, and started taking off. So I got my own community 6 months in. Now I was building homes. Then I got an opportunity to work in the office in purchasing. And then I was doing that and training MMA. And then my dad unexpectedly passed away.
Wow.
I didn't know what to do. So I kind of did a crisis and was like, I need to just get away again. Kind of like in Ohio again.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where I was going to go, and I decided Portland, Oregon. And I found a job up there with a national home builder, one of the largest in the country, and went up there and was going to train MMA up there and try and pursue my career as a fighter and just work for this home builder. And this is where wrestling, right, came back into the picture with MMA. I was doing that kind of full time as I was working full time. got an opportunity after working for that builder to I got an opportunity. All these things were like stepping stones. Another company gave me an opportunity that was too good to pass up, so I went to, it was a private builder in the regional area, and to learn a little bit more about building on lots. So did that for a little while, and then got an opportunity to work for a guy who was just basically the money. He was a guy, and once a year he would hire out his uncle or cousin or something to GC like a Street of Dreams multi-million-dollar home, and then they would sell it, spec it out, show it, sell it. And he was like, I'm tired of paying that GC fee, and I want to be able to do more. So, and it just takes too long to work with him because he's helping him on the side doing it, so it's not his main focus. So that house takes forever to build.
Yeah.
So I got to become the VP of operations there and build the company from nothing, right? We were going to try and do all these homes. I was going to, work under his, so I didn't have to go get my license, work under his entity. I was one of those guys that never wanted to start my own business. I can make somebody a lot of money, but I don't, knowing how serious I take stuff.
Yeah.
It would kill me. So anyways, works in land development, built homes, now is fighting. And then shattered my nose in a fight, decided, I don't want to do this anymore. And that was that. Yeah. But I was still in Portland.
You got this on video somewhere?
I am sure that one exists. But like tennis, I was really good at fighting. Really good.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it a lot. But then, was taking it a little too far, and then it became this parting the road. It's going to affect my career with this, where I'm making money, versus this, where MMA at this time, like even if you were one of the better ones, like you're not making money,
right?
Unless you're like the Conor McGregor, right? It's still kind of, early adoption stages, and they don't pay fighters really well. And if you get hurt, like there's your income.
Yep.
Right. It's not like other sports. NFL, you get hurt, you still get your salary.
Yeah.
As long as you got hurt playing football. You get hurt fighting, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I started just doing really well in my career. Started to focus on home building. Now it's been 16 years.
But you're still in Oregon at this point, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, still in Oregon. And then another crazy story kind of happens with my next girlfriend. Kind of leads me into some, dark path again, got back into drugs, and just was working and hanging out, and then met my wife.
In Oregon?
Yeah. She went to University of Oregon Law School. We met after she graduated, and she was working as an attorney in, it's about 45 minutes away south of me. And we met, and life just slowly started to change from there.
This was at a point where you're doing home building now in Oregon, and you're partying like a rock star at this point?
Yeah. Life is just going on. I mean, we met on a dating app, right? And
I was going to ask if you wanted to share how you met.
Yeah, totally. We met on a dating app, and but I met, I was not the best guy at this point. Right now, I've lost all faith in women, and because the relationship ended even more poor than the first.
Okay.
Right. It was real ugly. So I just was like, this is the way it is. So you know what? I'm just going to go kind of focus on myself, and not in a positive way, just only care about myself in these relationships. And if I don't get anything out of it, I'm moving on. And went through a lot of women, was not a great guy. And then there was kind of this inception point of just trying to figure out, like, what does my life mean? And what is my identity, kind of going back to that a little bit. And then I met my wife. Yeah. But sports, I mean, we just, it's in there at every phase. And now, talking about planting that kind of flag in the ground later, like the goal is like, I've got my career, I'm doing great. I still have a lot of runway left in it. And I want to continue that because it's going so well. But I do have a flag planted in the ground that I eventually want to get my senior PGA card. But that's so far, right? That's the outcome. But I'm focused on just the day to day. And that way, if I can get to a point where I've made money to where I could retire and just be done with work, great. And now I can step into that. Senior PGA goes on a long time, right? If I've made enough by that time, been playing lots of golf, we'll get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play enough golf to know what scratch means.
Just par. Yeah, just par. But yeah, sports enveloped my life even to this day, right? Like I still have that goal. That's what I was talking about. Like there's still a goal in there for me. And I'm just naturally athletic. Like whatever I take, I'm going to do well with it. Not to be arrogant, but it's been finding, all this journey has been finding the one that I'm not just good at, because all of them I was good at. And it fooled me into loving them.
Yeah.
And then when I realized I wasn't as great as I wanted to, that since I didn't have any love, there was no propulsion to get me past that point.
Yeah.
Of, at some point, all of these professional, the greatest to ever do it, hit a moment where they think they're not good enough. Every story of the best that ever did it has a moment where there's an identity crisis.
Yeah.
But the love of the game or something, like it drives them to that next level to continue to fight through the darkness. And every time I ran into that wall, I never tried to climb it, right? I just turned away and went away because I didn't have the love.
Right.
And, because you asked the question, well, if you're that good, could you compete or whatever? And I was talking about like the mental aspect of it. Like I wasn't there. So same thing here, right? But I want to run through this wall, right? I finally found that sport that I want to run through that wall. I love it because if you're not good at golf, it's really easy to hate it.
Yeah.
Like right away.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not good at it, but I do enjoy it. I do like playing. I just don't get to play it enough. But I think eventually I will be able to make more time.
Yeah.
I just keep finding something else to be doing.
I mean, look at this. You got this, man.
I got this. I got school. I got work. But eventually I'll be done with school and I can start focusing on something else.
You'll find something.
Yeah.
You
But
just chase.
I do enjoy this. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, this has only been going on for a couple weeks now.
Everything starts just that way,
Exactly.
right? Like you just have to get the ball rolling,
Yep.
and then it gets the momentum.
And actually, that's like I said, about 8 months ago is when I had the idea for almost a year, but 8 months ago is when I came up with my brand and the logo and all that stuff. And then it was about, I would say, a month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to start getting the equipment, I don't even know how to put this stuff together. Like I don't know anything. I've never interviewed
me,
one.
man. It looks great.
Appreciate it. But so I just did it.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's life.
So, but how did you get from Oregon? Because I'm assuming you didn't marry in Oregon.
Yeah. So we've never really gotten like officially married.
Okay, but you're basically common law.
It's a dirty word.
Okay.
We're married.
Sorry.
No, I'm just
Married.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. She's a lawyer. That's why I make that joke.
I got you.
Anything law, I'm just like, whoa. We
Yeah.
love each other. Let's keep the law out of this.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
How long was you living? I'm assuming y'all lived together in Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you come back to Texas?
I wanted somewhere. I was like, if we're gonna have a family, this is not the place.
Okay.
Lot of stuff going on around there that I was like, yeah, this just is not a spot.
Yeah.
So, and as we were moving, we found out we were pregnant. So it was like perfect timing. Because had we known that we were pregnant while we were up there, it would have been really hard to make the transition. So we moved back down. During the process, I remember I was on the phone with the bank about the closing and setting up the dates. And so we already had everything locked in. And then she told me she was pregnant. I was like on the phone. I was like, I'm going to call you back. They're like, yeah. They could hear. They're just like, yeah, that's cool. No problem. Congrats.
Yeah. That's awesome. Is your first one?
First one, man.
Hey, gonna be excited.
We want more. I mean, she's 4 now, so we've been here a couple of years.
Okay.
And Courtney is she's doing great. Life's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old also. I have a son in
Nice.
college, and I have an 8-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They grow so fast, man.
yeah, she lives with her mom, and they're only like 10 minutes from me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I see her, pretty often.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but she's into softball, and she just found catching,
Oh, cool.
and she loves it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Baseball now, like, is a cool sport to me.
yeah,
Like, I could sit and watch it. But yeah, playing it as a kid, it was just my brain works like 100 miles an hour.
yeah,
So if there's ever a stopping and having to restart it,
yeah.
that's where it's hard for me. Yeah. I'm in. I'm a vice president for like a large trade company,
Okay.
and it's going extremely well. I moved to the trade side about over a year ago. So I was in the actual builder side for about 16 years, 15 years, and then this last year, my 16th year in construction now on the trade side.
What's the difference?
So
Trade side.
trade side's the ones that are like, hey, we focus on one specific trade. So a plumbing company, we're
I got you.
plumbers. Versus home building, I was running. Now, granted, I oversaw the builders that ran projects and the purchasing and all that. I was finally kind of cracked in that executive level, and then with the owner of this company, we became friends, and he wanted to try and scale the business, grow it. So I came in a year ago. It's been tough, but it's going really well.
Good.
So loving that and having the freedom to kind of, live my life by example.
Yeah.
And
And-
try and figure out what that goal is.
And you're able to get that family time that good.
Yeah, life's been good, man. It's I'm able to get out on the course,
Yeah.
practice, train for that goal, right?
Yep.
That eventual goal of getting on the senior PGA, which I'm dead serious on.
Good.
Now
going.
it's every day, right? I know that goal is set, so
Right.
I'm gonna make the choices today. But also my other goal, you've got to have one inside. My goal is to be the best father, the best husband.
Yeah.
And I know that, kind of what's in front of me. There's a line going back to metal. Like everything connects in my story, but like going back to metal music, there was a line in a band.
I didn't ask. Are you what instrument or what?
I was a vocalist.
Okay.
I can play drums. I can play a little guitar. Not well. But
Again, where's this video at?
they're somewhere. They're somewhere, man. And like, I mean, I just with like the goals of like what I'm trying to do or like the choices, I just look at what's in front of me and trying to make the best choices. Like that being the kind of focal point of my story, because I've always had these goals out there.
Yeah.
I've always had these dreams, these visions, but I've always thought that if that was my goal, and every wall or every setback or everything that came in the way that was a problem, almost made it go like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
All right, at the beginning, one of my favorite parts is they're all in a line walking with their seed, and they're gonna drop it off to go to the offering, and a leaf falls, and it breaks the line of the ants.
He
And
starts to
that
freak
dude
out.
at the front's just like,
He's
it's all done.
Yeah.
It's over. What do we do?
over.
And the guy's just like, follow me, look
Yeah.
into my eyes, walk here, and there's the line.
Yeah.
I'm that dude that's panicking, right? Something got in the way of that goal. I lost to a guy I should have beat.
Yeah.
It's all done. It's all done. Like there are moments in tennis, like I'm ranked here, he's ranked here. I lost to this guy. It's all done.
Yeah.
It can only be a climb. My whole life is every step needs to be a step up towards that goal, because I'm so focused on that goal that if there's if I have to restart, I'm like, nah, screw it. It's like a video game Mario, right? You always start at the first level, always. And you make it as far as you can, and you're trying to beat the game. But if you lose all your lives, there's no checkpoints.
Right.
And so I always felt that way. I made one mistake, I'm back to the
Yeah.
bottom, because that's self-talk.
Yeah.
So now I look at life and I just go, for me, because maybe my story is mostly for people that are focused so heavily on that end goal, like too much, right? Because, some people are just about, Courtney, my wife, is one of those just right here, right now. Like, oh, that's future Courtney's problem,
Yeah.
right? I just care about this. And that's the way that she lives. And she's been a huge part of my story in the later years in my own personal growth, because I'm able to enjoy and make those decisions now. Now I'm blending the two, and hopefully I'm helping her. I don't know. But I'm looking at that and saying, I never would have asked myself that before.
Yeah.
Let me make this choice. If I'm just focused on this little thing, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
So, okay, something comes up, and for me, I want to be the best father. Okay, my kid broke something of mine. She was playing with it.
Right.
I can get angry, I can be upset, or I can look at this as an opportunity to just say, it's just like, it's just a thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's growth for me too.
Yeah.
So, to be the best that I can and the best example, like I've got to basically focus on me. I'm focused on me in those moments. When my daughter does something that affects me and kind of like hurts my feelings or something, or like she broke a thing of mine, a toy, let's call it a toy.
Yeah.
We all have toys. We're adults, but we have toys. I got Legos and all sorts of stuff. She breaks it, I initially want to be crushed. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait a second. Like, this is an opportunity for me. This is about me, not about my daughter.
Right.
I want to be the best example I can be. This is a choice.
Yeah.
If I choose to be angry, I'm not even worried about how this affects her in the
Right,
future.
exactly.
I'm just focused on being the best I can be. And that's going to help that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like if we keep hitting our eyes on the prize and just focused on the prize, like I want my daughter to be the best that she can be.
Yeah.
But I also know that if I am focused on that,
Yeah.
I'm putting too much pressure on her.
Yeah.
I just need to be the best I can be. And she'll see what those, like, she'll see it lived out as choices. She'll learn.
That's a very good.
Because the point is going back to the beginning when I said, the way I grew up, I assumed everyone grew up.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're in a vacuum. You just see what you see.
Yep.
My story is the only one I know, so it has to be truth.
Right.
It's like, you know, I get what I can imagine the Judeo-Christian belief of God was met with when they first went overseas and met somebody that believed in Allah.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
It's you. Allah's right. Yours is wrong.
Yeah.
And this guy's just as confident that his is right and yours is wrong because
Yeah.
he just heard about yours yesterday.
What if
He's
they,
known
what if
this
they
his
kept
whole
going?
life.
What if they kept going and met other Buddha or other, you know?
My thing is like maybe they start to doubt, but they probably just focus on what they grew up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what, and that's what I was trying to allude to is like exactly what you said. Imagine they travel over here, they see these people only see this,
Yeah.
so they only focus on this.
Yeah.
And if you kept going, that's around the world.
Yeah.
You know.
So with my kid, it's like if I teach her how to handle situations, she's only gonna ever know that.
Right.
So when she's an adult and she has influence and she has other kids, she's going to make choices based off of those learned behaviors.
Right.
Because that's right and that's wrong. I was taught right from wrong. And when I did that, I started to think, and this is where my dad comes into play, is I love my dad. My dad only wanted me to be the best I could be.
Yeah.
But because of that pressure, he tried to show me how I could be better than he was, where all of his mistakes were.
Yeah.
He tried to show me them and don't do this, don't do that. And in doing so, as I became a man, I created the goal of becoming a professional athlete based on my learned behavior because I was so good as a kid. I was so good as a junior. I was so good as a teenager, and I kept being good. And I had this escalation that I was supposed to be this. And when I hit a wall, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
My identity crashed and burned.
Yeah.
And so when I'm sitting there going, my dad wanted me to be better than he was. What that means is a better athlete than him because that was my identity.
Right.
And so when that failed, I needed to end my life because I was done. I'm trying to prevent that. And the people that I experience in my life, my daughter, the people around me,
Right.
when they make mistakes, it's okay. Like, you're not starting back at the beginning screen, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just focused on me. Like, my reaction to these scenarios determine the feeling that she's going to feel.
Yeah.
And is she starting back at the beginning?
Yeah.
So,
With you saying that, it makes me think about what's going on with me and my daughter, because I just had this conversation with my younger brother. I was like, and I actually talked to Dawson about this too. I was like, there's no way I can be my coach's daughter, because I mean my daughter's coach,
yeah.
because I would be way too hard on her. Like, I'm hard on her in sports. Now, when it comes to like her games or practice, I sit back and I'm just like I was saying. I was saying that I'm just a cheerleader at that time.
Yeah.
I just cheer for her, and stuff like that. But hearing you say that, I'm not understanding how much pressure I'm putting on her. So it's crazy that what you're saying is kind of like, it's really speaking to me. It's really
Yeah.
making me really rethink the way I should probably be handling things. So I appreciate, you coming in and saying that.
Yeah, it's opened up a world for me of a connection with my daughter, because my dad and I only connected through those things.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to have a relationship with my dad, even though he's passed away to this day, and still learning on what a relationship looks like.
Right.
Because it was all sports.
Yeah.
So if now granted, he was only doing the best that he could, thinking that, okay, Hunter wants to be a professional athlete. Okay. But once you set that goal, like, think about it that way. You're talking about focus on the goal. You set a goal for your kid.
Yeah.
You set it for them. And so if I loved tennis and I was good at it, okay, as an adult now, in my father's shoes, I go, my natural inclination would be, if my daughter is really good at something, insert gymnastics, and she's killing it, and I see her smile, I go, I want her to be the best gymnast that she can be. So I'm going to set this goal of just pushing her to be the best gymnast, because I see it makes her happy and she's really good at it. So I want her to get as far with it as possible.
Yeah.
Now I set that goal. If I focus on that goal, I never see how she's feeling in the moments. I never see the point in which she's like, I'm like, this no longer makes her happy. Instead, I keep pushing her.
Yeah.
I keep pushing her because, hey, you're good at it. You're good at it.
Yeah.
So whenever I see those moments where she's down on herself and maybe hating the sport, instead of listening and focusing on that emotion and what's really happening and trying to see, is this that moment where you need that love for it to push you forward? But I don't need to coach that into you. You either have it or you don't.
Right.
But if I sit back and I just see it for what it is and watch the situation, I can help my daughter distinguish between the two. You don't have to push yourself anymore. I'm already proud of you.
Yeah.
You did enough. If this is that moment, that wall for you, dude, let's turn back now, because we just need to find something that you will love.
Right.
Because whenever we truly do, you're gonna find a wall, no matter what it is in life.
Exactly.
And that love is gonna push you past.
Yeah.
But for me, it was, hey, you're good at tennis. You're good at tennis. You're good at tennis. So when I hit that wall, it was, like, hey, you can always go back to tennis. You try that, and it was just like, because that's what I was.
Yeah.
And I know now that my dad loves me. Oh, I always knew he loved me, but that was our relationship.
Yeah.
And so now, and he wanted me to be better than he was as a man and as a father.
I get that.
And so I, out of respect to him, also want to be better than him.
Yeah.
Not in an arrogant way, but I want to be a better man, whatever that means.
And that's exactly what I say. I want both my kids to be better than me.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah.
To be honestly.
But the only way I can show my daughter what better means is by being better.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
Yep.
Is the thing is like, if you set the bar really low, that's the hard part. If somebody says, I want my daughter to be better than me, so I'm going to set the bar, this is just a theoretical example, of really low. Like, I'm not going to do anything for her. I'm not going to show up for her sports. I'm not going to be there for her. I'm not going to be there, even say you're divorced, I'm not even going to be there for her mom because I hate that person.
Yeah.
So I know I'm setting the bar low. I'm really proud of what they become, because anything that they become is going to be better than me.
Right.
I'm the lowest of the low. So any good choice in life is going to make them all ultimately better than me.
Yeah.
But if I'm that example, I'm also setting the bar
Or
low
really
from
low.
what they can see.
Yeah.
They see somebody that should be up here, so the bar they think is already set high of like so it's that learned behavior.
Yeah.
They only learn what you are from that example because they only have one father.
Right.
So they learn what a father is through you. So ironically, the best way that I can make my daughter the best version that she could be, if I really want my daughter to be the best version she can be and better than me, then I have to be a better me in every scenario and set that bar and that example as high as possible.
Exactly.
And when I do, she's not going to know that that's what's happening. She's just going to learn how to make the proper choices, telling the truth. Like we keep our word no matter what in this family, no matter what it is. And I tell her, like, when she gets in trouble at school, I go, you're not going to get in trouble for lying. You're going to get in trouble for what you did. If you lie, you're also going to get in trouble for that. Like if you, I said that backwards. If you tell the truth, you're not going to get in trouble. If you lie, you are, but you're already getting in trouble for this thing. Let's not get in trouble for this other thing. Right. You're going to face your consequences. It is what it is, but let's be open up front because it's going to come out. And so we've been working on that. And it's proved to be hilariously like there's a kink in the armor that I didn't even know would ever exist. And she's too honest now. So at school, like she'll just admit to things that maybe she didn't actually do fully. And it's pretty funny because I've already met with like the principals about like her behavior in an area. And I go, but the thing is I extracted more information and go, did you guys know that this happened? And they're like, oh no. And I was like, yeah, like she just says yes to stuff. Yeah. And then I ask her more follow-up questions and she's like really telling the story. So like, cause they're kids, she blew a raspberry, right? A raspberry at a kid. Now she got sent home because she spit on a kid. Oh. And so, when I met with the vice principal, they're like, I go, okay, so she spit on a kid. Who saw this? They're like, well, no one. One of the kids came up and said that she spit on her, and we asked Harper, and Harper said yes. I go, okay. Just so you know, when I picked her up and talked to her about it, I go, did you spit on someone? She goes, yes. I go, show me what you did. And she blew a raspberry. I go, is that what you did? She goes, yes. And I go, okay, baby. And why did we do this? Like they were playing a game. They were like doing chase, and she blew a raspberry and was chasing and running away. Yeah, well, like kids do. Kid ran and said that she spit on her. Oh, right. And then she admitted to it. Yeah. And that's where it's like I was like, okay, like,
what? It's like technically I did.
So that was the thing with like the teacher. I'm like, hey, like, do you know that this is actually what happened? No. Oh, okay. Next time, like, maybe follow up with some questions. Right. Because we work on keeping our word and being honest. And I'm so proud of my daughter for being honest. We'll deal with the other issue. Yeah. But now you're sending my kid home for being honest and overly honest, right? Yeah. So it's like a tricky gray area. But yeah, so my thing is just if I'm always honest about everything, like then I'm showing her what that is. Yeah. And I'm showing her that she doesn't need to be afraid. So in all these scenarios, okay, this thing that I love breaks. I can react really poorly, but what's going to happen when one of her friends breaks her toys a week from now? Do I want her to have a meltdown, or do I want her to take a breath and go, hey, like this hurt my feelings, right? This sucked. Yeah. Hey, I'll go get her a new toy just for handling it that way, man. Yeah. And so that's like, we're working on those things in ourselves. So, but it's all just a byproduct of me focusing on me. Yeah. So, it's just, but those things come up in the here and now. But if I'm focused on her being the best gymnast, right, then when that moment happens, she breaks something, right? I don't care what I'm taking away. I've put her identity as gymnastics. As long as she's good at gymnastics and doing that thing, I'm creating that identity in her. Yeah. And that's what happened to me. Yeah. And no fault, no shame to my father. He was doing the best that he could with what he had, right? What he learned. And I'm fortunate enough that I would say there's a we in this, right? My dad and I were a team, and we're becoming successful in what we're doing as fathers. And that's why I say our relationship still exists. We're still talking. We're still, when I go hit golf balls, he's there with me, and I'm hear him, in the back of my mind, softening his voice of being upset, knowing that I'm good at it, knowing that I'm already, because now that he exists in the ether or whatever, like he knows that I'm already putting the pressure on myself. Because whenever I messed up, I would always hear his voice, trying to make it better, trying to tell me what I messed up at. So what do you think the voice in my own head is when he's not there? Is, again, back to tennis. You suck. Like, you're better than this. You know what you're doing. Why did you make that mistake? It's my dad's voice that I created in my own head, and now it's my voice. So now that I've focused on that self-healing and kind of my own mental capacity, my self-progress, my self-talk, I already know what my goal is. I already know I'm good. I already know I have all those things. So it's okay. People make mistakes.
Yeah. Is there something certain that you do to keep your mental health like strong? Is there something like, what do you do? What do you focus on? Because I can't imagine that it's just all fine and dandy now. I mean, you still have to have that, you still have to be able to have that mental strength. I don't know how else to say it or whatnot, because it just doesn't go away is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People struggle with it every day.
That's why I say, like, don't feed it. It's already there.
Yeah.
That monster's already fed. It's like there's the old tale that there's two wolves inside of you. Which one are you going to feed?
Right.
The other one's going to starve. Right. So, I always fed the one that needed to be the best at stuff. And like, there's another wolf in there. Right. And it talks about, I read a lot of books, right? There's the one about like, the stages of being a man. Like, you have your warrior stage and your king stage and all these different elder stage, like these stages of like who you become.
Yeah.
Right. And if I'm so focused on who I am as a warrior and that person better not cut me off, or I want to beat that person up and road rage and all that stuff, I'm not being a true like king to my people, and my people are my family, just the people around me. I'm not like a king, and just metaphorically, if I want to be a leader, I need to live like it. So like, if I'm just, how good am I at protecting my people if I'm putting myself in those scenarios that aren't healthy scenarios?
Yeah.
Right. I'm now a warrior, right? I could go back to warrior, but that's why like good warriors don't always make great kings, or good doers don't always make great managers. But I've got more than just my family. Like with the business, there's tons of employees, there's tons of customers. Like, I'm the business facing of it all.
Yeah.
So my face is who they're talking to when it's talking about relationships with the builders and getting the contracts. So outside, and then internally, everyone, on the, getting everything dialed in on the specs with those builders, on the liaison between the two, because I'm building that business, and I handle a lot of the back office, all of our pricing, all of our stuff that goes out. So all that to be said, there's so many eyes on me in a day's basis, that if I want them to act a certain way, I have to show them how to act that way.
Yeah.
So the growth is coming from a lot of, that motivating thing is never turned off. I know it's there. It's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
It's just who I am. Like, if you gave, I don't know, like you, right? You're what are you good at? What are some things that, like, I don't know, sports, shooting guns, like anything?
I mean, honestly, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Do you have a thing that like you're just like really good at?
No.
No? Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
That's okay, man.
I like everything. I like sports. I love right now playing golf. I love like just being with my kids as much as I can. If I were to say one thing that I'm good at, I'm good at not quitting. I'm good at trying new things and getting out there, and I just don't give up.
Sure.
Let's
say, because I was such a good athlete, like I naturally was good at whatever sport I played. Yeah. If you inserted me in basketball, like, okay, great. I may not go shoot 43s and drain them all, but I'm an athlete. Like, I know how to pass. I know how to shoot. I know how to function on a court to where they're like, I want that guy on my team as a team player. Or soccer now or whatever. Like, I'm a good athlete, so I fit in no matter what sport you insert me into.
Yeah.
And so just like that'll always happen no matter what. I didn't have to go practice basketball. I don't have to practice sports. You put me in insert any sport and I'm going to be capable. It's even like without doing it. Now there's, like I said, like baseball. Okay. Because a mechanically driven sport, like a swing of a bat, maybe I don't have the proper mechanics. So that's where I kind of struggle when I first picked up golf, right? I can naturally swing. That doesn't make you a great golfer.
Right.
But any, hand-eye coordination, ball sports, wrestling, grappling, like whatever, like naturally good, right? So you put me in anything, fine, I'm good. Because of that, I don't have to tell myself or train, be like, oh, I haven't played a sport in a week. I need to go play a sport to make sure I'm still good at it.
Yeah.
I'm a natural athlete. I'm always going to be that, no matter what. Same with like motivating factors. Like if that's in you, it's in you.
Yeah.
I don't need to practice it. I don't need to feed that beast. He's fully fed.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't need an end goal. And those are kind of the people that I'm talking to, is like the so end goal driven is like, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna come naturally because you've already set it there. Just leave it there. Don't worry about it. You'll get there as long as you do these things right and get to it. If Elon Musk, and I'm not for or against whatever, I'm just using that as an example. But if his dream, I guarantee you, like if he just planted and said, I'm going to do that, I'm like you said, it's a moving goalpost, right? But if he focused on where he said it, like I have to do this thing, and every roadblock he ran into, he'd feel like starting over. He wouldn't have gotten past anything.
Yeah.
Right? You pivot, you change, you decide new things. I mean, look at athletes that are starting liquor companies.
Yeah.
The Rock has like a tequila company or something, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like, is it because he knows tequila?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
He certainly didn't become famous because of his tequila knowledge.
Yeah.
He became famous he became an actor after wrestling, right? So is he naturally good at like getting a crowd behind him?
Yeah.
Okay, then so naturally he could be an actor probably.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to, at that point, he didn't have to go maybe to acting classes to fine tune some stuff to get better at it.
Right.
But he was in stuff and people wanted him in stuff regardless of him having no acting because of who he was over here. He's naturally okay at it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just in business, like he made good money decisions with his own personal career. So insert a tequila company. He doesn't need to know anything about tequila.
Right.
He knows finance and he knows business because of this over here. So he doesn't need to go learn that.
Yeah.
It is him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm getting at is a door was in front of him about a choice. Do I do this tequila thing or not? Well, I don't know anything about tequila. If I have a negative mindset and negative self-talk and I'm just focused on being the best, I'm taking that no. And he never opens it.
Yeah.
He never opens
he doesn't take the opportunity, even though he does have a lot of aspects of his life that would be, contribute to and make him great at something. And if he doesn't,
But so I would argue that those good things in his life are because of that mindset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
for sure.
He had to have run into a wall in wrestling where they, a conflict of interest of maybe something that they wanted him to do that he didn't. And if you do this thing, you'll be more famous. If you don't, like, I'm sure he seems like a kind of guy that probably would say, like, I stick to my values. Right. But he is who he is. Right. So insert anything into that life. And if it's in that category, like, he's already got that motivation.
Yeah.
Is kind of my point. Right. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. You can't teach it. Right.
That's true.
So the thing is the one like congruent feature of every famous person or everyone that's been successful that you would argue is successful is
the drive they have.
They already have like the motivation, right? Unless they were just like, hey, they were born into it, that silver spoon fed.
Right.
But people aren't listening to those people anyways.
Right.
Like people know who to listen to and they listen to people of their choosing. That's what's beautiful is like, we get to choose what we put in our ears. We get to choose what we watch. It's our choice.
Yeah.
And the ones that are influential, whether it's for good or bad, are the ones that get the most people to want to do it. But for what we're trying to do, right, get people, the right people, and try and get people to grow, those ones that want to be better despite the world putting shit on top of you and all the noise and the negative media and, the shortcomings and the failures and fired for a reason that wasn't your fault or the bad decisions. I did decide to drive drunk and now I have a DUI. My life is ruined.
Yeah.
All of these things is like, no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. It's not over.
But those people are already like, they have some sort of motivation if they chose to listen.
Yeah.
Right. If I want to be a better person and I can choose to, watch or listen to, some motivating person. What's the guy that was a Marine?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. I see him
Joe
on
Rogan
TikTok.
loves him and all that. Oh my gosh, it's going to kill me.
You can look it up if you want.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, no, go
Let me
ahead.
see. What's that dude's name? Because it's going to kill me.
I know exactly. I can see he's got a bald head.
Yeah, Goggins.
Yep.
David Goggins. I think. David Goggins. People want to follow that guy.
Yeah.
Right. But guess what? If you don't, you don't.
Right.
So who are the people that you think are following David Goggins? People that aren't motivated, or people that probably are already?
People that are seeking motivation.
Yeah, they never listen to it. But I would say that anyone that's lived life has faced adversity.
Right.
Like if you truly, unless you just put yourself into an acorn shell and just avoided the world, you face adversity. Even that in and of itself, like avoiding the world is adversity, right? Like you don't have any social skills when you go out into the world, whatever. But everyone that's lived life to a certain point will face adversity, no matter what, right? The people that choose to follow Goggins, or when I say follow, like, follow on accounts or like watch his stuff, I would argue that those people are already related to him in the mindset. If like you don't have to click follow if you don't want to follow it.
Right.
You do it because you relate to it.
Right.
So if I have somebody on my screen yelling, saying like motivating stuff, if I'm an unmotivated person, I'm just going to scroll past. It's not on my algorithm anyways. Right. I just keep moving on. Everything's algorithm based now. We know that.
Yeah.
So if I keep feeding the negativity, I'm already a negative person. I don't have the motivation. I'm never going to break that barrier of entry anyways. And that's what everything that we do in life has a barrier of entry.
Yeah.
A minimum threshold that somebody has to match to be on the same level regardless, right? Even work, right? Hey, you want to be a trainer, you have to have this barrier of entry, this certification, right? Even as human beings, like if you want to follow this person, the barrier of entry is no monetary value, but it's internal, emotional, right, value of, am I on the same level as you? Do I have that motivation? So that's why I'm like talking kind of to anyone that's already going to be, looking, and at that point, all of the people that I assume that would be watching your podcast they wouldn't get this far if they didn't already have, that barrier of entry, whatever it is for your goals and who you are as a person.
Yeah.
They're already going to have that. They're already going to be seeking that.
Yeah.
So I would argue to say is that anyone that's watching it is going to sit there and go, they already have a flag planted somewhere in their life, right? And they're already focused on that flag. That flag is there. They know it's there. They're going for it. So the ultimate goal, I assume, for what you're trying to do is okay, getting to that flag successfully.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're in military, I'm ignorant in this knowledge, but from what I've seen, y'all do drill, y'all do obstacle course type stuff in some scenarios, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
In your obstacle course, right? Like if I do every obstacle and focus on it to the best of my ability, at the end, I'm going to reach the end.
Yeah.
If I'm so focused on reaching the end and my goal is only to reach the end by a certain time, halfway through I could give up, because what would happen if you had to finish a race and they had the time on, and you didn't finish the race before the time went off? Do you finish the race or do you stop?
Oh, you better finish it.
And I'm not talking about military, just in general, right? Just life.
I mean,
you have
most people might just like
it's
throw their
already
hands
done.
up, yeah,
because it's done.
Why try?
Why? It is literally done.
Yeah.
I have 4 minutes to do 3 laps around the track.
Yeah.
When that 4 minutes hits, if I'm not all the way, like the goal was get there at the end of 4 minutes. If I haven't, why keep running?
Yeah, you just slow up and start walking.
But if I never tell you the time,
right,
and you never see the timer,
yeah,
and I say run 3 laps as fast as you can,
yeah,
and I know the goal is 4 minutes, then you're not stopping.
Right.
Because you're just focused on reaching just going through that one obstacle just gets to the end. That one happens to be short enough to where it's the end.
Yeah.
But if you have life, which is never just one,
Right.
it's never just running from here to there, which is what people think, a long race.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a race. It's an obstacle course.
Yeah.
And every obstacle that comes up, just focus on that obstacle, whatever it is. And if you do it right, you'll get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Because it's not a race. Everyone tells life it's a race. It's not a race. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
If you want to be a personal trainer that has 100 clients, okay, so if it doesn't happen when you're 25 years old, are you a failure? If it doesn't happen at 35, now you're 45, but you didn't even start the race.
I mean, young me would say yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But okay, so you reached 30 years old and you don't have 100 clients. Okay, done.
Yeah.
Or is it, well, hold on a second. Everyone else started when they were 18 and went to college.
Right.
I had a very big detour.
Yeah.
I didn't even start until I was this age.
Right.
And so when everyone else setting the standard of you don't have 100 clients, well, hold on a second, buddy. I started at 45.
Yeah.
You started at 18. You're 35. I'm hoping that in that 17-year span where you got 100 clients, I'm hoping that my 17 years I could do the same, but I haven't even hit my 17 years.
Right.
Or go past it, whatever.
Yeah.
The point being is that life is life. Shit's going to come at you. Make the right choice.
Right.
Right. You already know what your goal is.
Yeah.
So if my goal is to be, and not to get weird or anything here, but if my goal is to be an honorable man that only has eyes for my wife, and my goal is to never cheat on my wife and never so perfect example. My parents had their issues. My dad cheated on my mom. Heartbreaking. I don't want to do that. Okay. So just by not wanting to do that and haven't done it yet, does that make me a good husband?
I mean, no, I can't answer that either way, because it's not wanting to do something is kind of a bad way of saying it to me.
Right.
You should, that mindset should already be there that you should have made that decision. I would think you would have already made a decision. I'm not going to do this, regardless if I'm married or I'm just in a relationship with someone. I should be, monogamous is what I would say you should be, regardless.
But is that a choice that you make right up front, or is it an outcome?
It should be it's a good question.
For me,
it's a choice.
Please, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a choice. If I'm gonna be with someone, I'm gonna be with someone.
Yeah.
That's my choice.
Yeah. What if that's that barrier of entry, I think.
Okay.
So if my barrier of entry is I wanted to be in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I ever met my wife, my goal was, if I get married, never cheat on my wife. Okay? Because of what I saw my family go through.
Right.
I don't want that. I want a wife and kids. I want to be happy. I want that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make the same mistake my dad did.
Right.
Okay. So, by focusing on not wanting to make that choice, do you think my dad, I look back and I go, do I really think my dad wanted to cheat on my mom?
Hindsight's 20/20, but probably not.
Hindsight is 20/20,
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of it. I'm looking through the lens of my father before to see my future.
Yeah.
So
I would like to think everyone that's made a mistake like that, understood that it was definitely wrong and something I shouldn't have done. And then you go back to, well, why'd you do it in the first place? And it's a whole nother circle of.
So back to my original question.
Yeah.
Is it a choice or an outcome? Because if you're saying that you're not wanting to do it because you did it before, that kind of points to it being an outcome.
Yeah.
And reframe for a moment. So if to not cheat on my wife for the rest of my life, that means I have to go through the rest of my life.
Right.
And die not having done it. Okay. So that flag's planted. Okay. Girl texts me. What do? It's not my wife.
Don't respond.
That's a choice.
But yeah, it's a choice to block it.
Or a
Delete it.
choice to
How did you
text
get my
back.
number?
Yeah, there's a choice. You have a choice.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid example. It's, I don't even know this person, right?
It's a good example. I mean,
But what if it's somebody from your past that you did have a relationship with,
right.
and you remember those memories
Yeah.
and the what ifs, and they're texting you while they're married?
Yeah. Yeah. And something could start off, you think you could start off so simple or so innocent.
They're just checking in.
Right.
I'm just going to text them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm arguing with my wife, and I just really feel not like a good person. This person always cheers me up. Misery loves company.
Right.
I'm going to text them. Oh, they're having a shitty day with their husband. They're texting me back. We both have shitty days. Man, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Oh, they're getting the nurturing that they need, not from their significant other. They're getting a nurturing. Hey, genuine. I'm so sorry you feel that way. You're actually a good person. This person's making me feel good. Like, they understand me. Now they're listening to me. This person understands me. Okay, when I go through issues, like, this is a person I get to turn to with issues.
Yeah.
Now we're combining an emotional state. We're combining that feeling, kind of back to church, right? That we know the power of emotion. If that's able to drive, if we focus on church driving the emotion out of people so much that we can get them to accept Christ in less than an hour's time frame, we did enough work to get a lifelong decision made. The same thing can happen on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Let me spend a couple hours texting this person this thing. Like, no one intends for it to happen. And I'm not saying that, like, there aren't people that can have, women friends or whatever. Like, this is just me. I'm only talking about my own stuff here because I only care about my choices. But for me personally, the best thing I can do to be a good husband and a good father and never cheat is anytime a scenario pops up, no matter what it is. Hey, one of the, I don't have any women that are at my level of the business just because it's just me and the boss, but the owner. But if we had, somebody that was an equal, counterpart, maybe let's say I had a VP in another category, and she was like, hey, we're driving to the same place. Why don't you ride with me? No, thank you. I'm going to drive myself.
Yeah.
Right. I know how easy it is. We're both transporting together, but the goal is to get to that spot, right? To get to that location for this meeting. Right. Okay. But my wife trusts me, and it's no offense to anyone else. I'm just not going to put myself in a scenario, even as simple and as stupid as that.
Yeah.
Because
you're going to get
it all starts stupid.
Yeah.
It all starts so innocent.
And then I can already hear when people, hear this, listen to this, or watch this, I can already hear her say, well, you don't trust yourself enough.
Totally. Exactly.
And
that's a very good point.
It is the and then I don't like that argument. It's like, why do I even have to put myself in the situation
That's
in
my
the first
thing.
place? Yeah, I do trust myself.
Yeah.
But I'm also making the choice not to put myself in a situation so something else could be said.
Yeah.
I don't have to, now I'm going to start defending myself.
Yeah.
For something I didn't even do.
Yeah, we're not talking about if I don't want to get into a mosh pit anymore, could I still go to a metal show and not join the mosh pit? 100%. That's easy. But the mosh pit's not grabbing me, telling me to come in. The mosh pit's there if I want it.
Yeah.
I'm making the choice. But how often do we like cheating is a two-way street, right? Or, if both people know that they're in another relationship.
Yeah.
And both are assuming that they're both cheating, like, it's a two-way street, like, it's consensual.
Yeah.
So that means that for as much as I'm putting in, there's somebody putting in as well.
Yeah.
Right? A mosh pit's not putting into me. It's not saying, hey, get over here. It's just, hey, it exists.
Yeah.
Right? So women exist in the world. I'm still going to HEB.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm still, nice and kind, but I'm not getting in a car with you. Right? Or I'm not going, like, I don't invite people into my car that I don't want sitting in my car. Let's put it that way. To anyone that would bring up that question or that concern, I would say, okay, every time I drive and I see a homeless person, I'm just going to be honest, I don't invite them into my car.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into the scenarios of homeless. I'm just saying, somebody sitting there looking for a ride, or a hitchhiker. Fine, let's use a different example. Hitchhiker. I'm not picking up a hitchhiker.
Right.
Ever. I am so sorry. It's nothing against them. It's a me thing. Right? I'm not picking up a hitchhiker. Okay. So, but if I wanted to, it's my choice.
Right.
I invite them into the car.
Right.
Because I want them there.
Yeah.
If I don't want them there, I don't invite them. Your door. Why do we have front doors on our houses?
So we don't want people to come in.
Bingo. So if a woman is inviting me into their car, that's different,
Yeah.
right? That's different.
Yeah.
I say no, I'm going to drive myself. It's not the same scenario as the mosh pit.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hold on a second. They might. I don't know their intentions, and I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
They could just want to be my friend, and we're working together.
You're just bringing up some memories right now for me.
I'm sorry, man.
No. It's kind of like I notice this what you're saying, the similar kind of stories about, being invited in someone's car. Like, I feel like I'm saying too much already, but I know this is person that does this.
Yeah.
And now that you're saying it, it's like, man, I'm wondering if this is how this acquaintance occurred.
All of these situations that were in the past, right? You want to talk about wrapping a bow around this, and like, what is the point? If there's something for somebody to hear, okay. The goal in all this is, yes, I could go into detail about how poor, like the situations I had, right? I can choose to focus on, hey, let's live in the moment of when I almost killed myself. Notice how I was like so quick to try and just get out of that. The focus of my story is like all of those moments were so real.
Right.
They were so raw. And if I talk about them, like people that are in those spots will relate.
Right.
Right. They will know.
Yeah.
It's not like, I tried to kill myself. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
But now that I'm on the other side, right, the hindsight thing, all of those situations have built me into knowing what I know now. So rather than living in those moments, if there is somebody to talk to reach out to, it's my goal is to, okay, let's focus on how we got out of them.
Right.
Right. Not focus on how we got in them. We're already there.
Right.
It's really easy to fall into these adverse situations. We talk about adversity in life. The goal of this is to get out of them.
Yes.
So let me focus on getting out.
Yes.
A lot of people focus on the emotion of what they're feeling in that moment. I hate to keep using this analogy, but the church thing, right? Like we sing songs for 30 minutes. The sermon is 15 minutes long. We go there to hear the pastor speak, but the sermon is 15 minutes long, and everything else, the show, is the longest portion.
Yeah.
Why? Draw the emotion, draw the emotion, draw the emotion. Now you're in an emotional state. Now let's put this thing on you, right?
Yeah.
And let's hit it. It's kind of like it's psychology. If I want somebody to work on something, I give them a positive thing, I give them the constructive criticism, and then I give them another positive thing. That's how humans work.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm trying to say, okay, yeah, these things happen. They're cool. They're sprinkled throughout. If we want to get into, the emotion of what I felt, happy to do so. But the point is to recognize them as soon as they come.
Yep.
How do we get out of them?
Yep.
What's the goal?
Yep.
We already know that we have a goal, whatever your goal is, right? Anyone that's listening has a goal. Okay. How do we get there?
Yep.
Let's focus on the here and the now in these little situations.
How you keep driving on.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the goal.
Exactly. Right. But as you're driving, right, you have the GPS to that final location. What happens when traffic hits or a roadblock, a detour happens?
Yeah.
Life is gonna, but you're still trying to get to that goal.
Yeah. Still trying to get there.
So if, back to the cheating thing is like, every decision is my own. Every situation, I can only control what I can control. So I better control what I can.
Yeah.
If an opportunity presents itself, it is my choice on how I do it. Does that feed which person inside of me that I want to become with that end goal in mind?
Yeah.
So it's taking the end goal, which is so far removed, hitting in here now. Okay, best father. That means every situation that comes up, I have to choose the right thing. But if hindsight's 20/20 and everyone lives that way, we make a choice. We go back and we reflect. As parents, and my father included, we make all those choices and we don't see the end outcome of our children until it's too late.
Yeah.
How many parents do I know or that I talk to regret that the way that they raise their kids?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. If I had to guess, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 at least, at a minimum.
But we've seen those ones that they're so close to their parents and everything works so well. That's not by accident.
Right.
It's not by accident. Those are examples. What do those parents do that's different? What are the choices? You know?
Yeah. Yes. I like how you put it as far as like, you have these choices, whatever my situation is, I have a choice to focus on myself and be better. So I like the way you put it, especially the way you talk about how you raise your daughter. I can set the bar really low, or I can set the bar, really high, and hopefully she's gonna see what I'm doing and be a reflection of what it is I'm doing because I'm focused on myself. So
And the choice of who she marries, man.
right,
Like everyone always says that. Like
yeah,
you set the standard, right? And people say it because it's true.
yeah,
Like we want to be smarter than the outcome, and pretend like, you know, data and stereotypes or whatever like don't matter, but they're there for a reason, right? The stereotype of like your child marries who you are, kind of thing, like
yeah,
as a person, or you set the bar, the standard for how a daughter should be treated, and it's real. But it's hard because we are such an outcome based culture
yeah,
in everything we do.
yeah,
Right? Like even college football
yeah,
used to be bowl games, right? Like do those things. Bowl games don't matter for crap now. And now all that matters is making it to the playoff.
yeah.
Not winning. Just get to the playoff. LSU, make it to the playoff.
Yeah, I gotta get to the playoff.
Like your barrier in Lane Kiffin is just getting the playoff. Well, that's kind of like we're lowering the bar. We've added more teams. It's going to get bigger. And we're going to add more teams.
Yep.
And we're just honestly like making what success is and driving it to a platform because of the money revenue generated off of that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't care about the coaches and the students and the fool. We want to make as much money as possible. The way we do that is drive more interest into more games. The national championship's the only one that matters. That's one game. What if we can get 15 games that are all equal level? That's all it is. It's just generating an outcome.
Yep.
Right? So what choices were made? They didn't just wake up one morning and say, we're doing a playoff. It was micro choices, right? Now look at what's happening with conferences, right? SEC, Big 10, Big 12, they were named those because of the number of teams that were in there. Right? The Big 10 has how many teams?
Oh, the Big 12, you mean?
16.
Yeah, Big 10.
Big 10 has 16.
Yeah.
It's not Big 10 anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going to get more.
Yeah.
And all of these conferences are going to swallow up and you're going to have mega conferences, right?
Yeah.
And then what's next? Maybe we have 2 playoffs, one for this tier and then one for this tier, the group of 6. We already call them the group of 6 conference and then the power, right? And it's a power 4, not a power 5 anymore.
Right.
And it's getting smaller and smaller. All of these things, like these outcomes, the playoffs, they're an outcome of a lot of little decisions. Those little decisions are towards that end goal. But if you look at that's why I say with people, we make it confusing, right? We're focused on that outcome, getting that motivation and that outcome. If businesses did that, look at all the most successful businesses. They all started really small and they scaled.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. Your choices scale who you are as an individual.
Right.
And then that scale, right? Once you become that is who you are. That's kind of the whole phrase, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a firm believer in that. Like in choices, like, okay, at one point I cheated on every girl I was ever with. That's the truth.
You made that choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. To become the other thing, the next girl I dated, guess what? I was still a cheater.
Yeah.
Still a cheater. Before I ever cheated, I was a cheater.
Yeah.
I had to fake it. I had to tell myself I wasn't.
Yeah.
Until I believed it. And then I was it. That's why I say fake it till you make it. Sometimes it's true in some regard. Is I had to go, okay, to not be a cheater, it's not a choice. I'm cheating every time. Or I'm sorry, it is a choice to cheat.
Yeah.
Apologies. But it's little decisions that lead to that choice, that outcome, to make it easier. So if I no longer want to be that, I have to, tell myself I'm not that, but I don't believe it. I don't believe I'm not that. People like us that are motivated, we believe in what we do, not what we say we are, because that voice inside of us is already telling us who we are.
Yeah.
So I could wake up and go, I'm not a cheater. And I try and convince myself of that. And then when a girl texts me when I'm in a relationship, I go, I'm not a cheater, remember? So I can respond to this. I'm not a cheater. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do it this time. They're responding to me. I'm just going to send a little text.
Right.
It's okay. Like, hey, because what if this relationship doesn't work? I'm not going to cheat on her, but we've only been dating 2 weeks. I want to keep this thing going in case maybe this is the person I'm supposed to be with. And I put honest integrity into my choices, and I bleed it and I blend it. And I go, okay, I've been dating this girl 2 weeks. She might not be the one for me. I like her a lot and we're dating. And I'm not going to cheat on her. I made that choice. I'm not cheating on her. This girl's texting me. We've been friends forever. Yeah. I know she's been interested in me, but now I'm getting older and I'm thinking about finding a person that could be my wife. I don't want to, shut this down because this might not work.
Right.
And then I convince myself somehow that it's not working. And then I justify that cheating and I go, well, this was the person I was supposed to be with anyways. And this just didn't work out. It's no big deal. And I forget their names. And they're human. It's just horrible. And so the thing is I had to go, okay, if I'm not a cheater, what do people that don't cheat, what are the choices they make?
Hopefully they would just not even respond.
That's my point, right? Yeah. So I had to tell myself, yes, I'm choosing not to be a cheater.
Yeah.
But I had to fake not being a cheater until I became it. I had to consciously think about what somebody who wouldn't cheat would do in every scenario.
Yeah.
And then finally, I no longer have to ask myself that question.
Yeah.
Now I am that thing that I've wanted to become.
Yeah.
But I had to look at examples of people or think about what those people would do in those scenarios.
Yeah.
And those were the choices right in front of me, focused on those.
Yeah.
Until I no longer have to, I can recognize the doors.
Yeah.
And I can see them, and it's natural progression, right? It's like any sport that you're good at. Okay, basketball players first learn how to shoot the basket, like hold it. You think pros are sitting there up to the free throw line going,
let me line this up, my middle finger,
They feel it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so but when you start, you've got to fake it till you make it. You got to look the part. You got to shoot it the way that they do until it's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely learned behavior for sure.
Yeah.
But, man, we've gone for a while.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. You gave up a lot of your time to be here, and you shared a lot. But
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. This was fun, man. Sorry, I was just looking at the text from the wife. This is hopefully, I mean,
it will be definitely, beneficial. I know it will be beneficial. Especially now I get to go back and rewatch it, and which is really cool for me because I get it watching something back for me is better than kind of being in the moment at times, because it's like, man, I wish I would have said something when they said this. And there's opportunities that I miss, and I'm trying to get better at it. But
so what do? Do you beat yourself up, or do you go, hey man, that was cool? Like I
learned from it. I learned from it.
So hindsight's 20/20. You see what I'm saying? And then you just in the moment you're like, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
So do you beat yourself up, or do you go, I did a really good job at this portion over here?
Yep.
And I already know the outcome.
Yep.
So okay, next time, guess what? Since I'm good at this thing, I don't have to worry about that thing anymore.
Yeah.
That engine's rolling. Now I can just focus on this little thing over here that I wish I did better.
Exactly.
And then you fine tune that, and then at some point it's just polished.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And that is my goal, to get this polished. That'd be nice.
That's good, man. That's good.
But thanks again, man. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, man.
And then for everybody that's out there, everybody's watching, regardless of what you're going through in life, no matter how much life feels like it's going wrong, drink water and drive home.
Yo, kid. Woke up tired. Woke up tired, still I gotta get it. Same routine, but I'm staying committed. World feel heavy and it's weighing on my chest, but I learned real early, ain't no time to rest. Bills stack up, pressure don't fold. Tryna stay solid while the world turns cold. Smiles on faces, but you don't know the pain. Everybody fighting, just don't show the strength. Some days it feel like nothing's changing. Still I move, no hesitating. Even when the road feel long, I remind myself, just drive on. Been through the pressure, still standing strong. Life gets heavy, but we keep moving on. Came from the struggle, we built it alone. No matter the weight, we carry it on. Long days, late nights, still pushing through. Doubting myself, but I stick to the truth. Ain't where I want, but I'm not where I was. Every step forward, yeah, it still count as love. Like some people had to learn and grow. Some bridges burned just to light your road. Hard times came, I ain't fold, I adapted. Turned all the pressure into something I crafted.
All crazy.